Street, alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Down down we a lock down the street, so we chop it, so we do it. We say when you come, we lock down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. The big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune. Street, alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Down down we a lock down the street, so we chop it, so we do it. We say when you come, we lock down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. The big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them couple of the big tune.
That should be better. Can you hear me? I hope that works, because if not, I'm shot in the dark. I see levels though, so that's good. Maybe. I gotta get my mouse all the way over here. What is going on, folks? Whew. Give me a 5x5 in the chat if you can hear me. If you are on board, welcome aboard. We timed out last night. I'll tell you what happened here in a minute. All right, we got a 5x5. What is going on, Trucker? We have Trucker 5752. Cody's in the house. Shelton, how are you? Yeah, well, we're going to get this show on the road, and we're going to go pretty quick. What happened yesterday is we were doing our scheduled flights, and they are doing construction, and they actually, one of the subcontractors hit the line and severed the main line, and we were down all night. And it was interesting because I sat there with my wife. We were having dinner, and I'm like, look, I'm going to time out, because in real life you're on an FDP, right? You got a flight duty period. We had a 12-hour FDP yesterday, and we had a 9-hour flight day. Now, we weren't even close to our flight time, but we were getting close to the FDP. And I was like, if we don't take off within 2 hours, we're timed out, right? So if that was real life, we would have timed out, and we would have had to bus passengers down to Myrtle Beach. And then we probably would have had to put passengers on competitors, to get them down to Miami. So then we would have had to call a reserve crew to fly to Raleigh-Durham that night, pick this aircraft up, fly it back to Miami. You know how much money that would cost if that was legit, if that really happened? That's a ton of money. So without any further ado, we're going to simulate like we left off yesterday. I've got the clock set just right. I've looked at the when we pulled into the gate and everything. So 12:49 is when we're due, and we're going to come right into here, and I'm going to reset the clock because I was yapping. So we're going to set it to 12:49. Pretty much got everything set already in the FMC, just like I did yesterday. I watched the video before I went into the terminal. We set the FMC up. We got the airplane boarded. We just got to put fuel and some load on, and we're good to go. All right, so you're going to see two legs tonight if you stick around. We're going to fly Myrtle Beach and Miami. So let's go to performance. We're going to have a full boat on here. We got 70 passengers. We're going to just zero this out. Well, nothing carrying in that middle, and then that aft bin, I think we dumped everything in the back, and I think it was like 3,800 or something like that. So I'm going to go like this. We're going to go 3800, enter. Oh, man. The fuel, I think we had issues with this, right? Fuel load was, yeah, we did have issues. I think we just took bags yesterday. The fuel load out of here was 3120. So we're going to put 31, if I can, 3120 in. We'll enter that. We're going to go ahead and just take the bags, then 2240 on the bags. I do remember we had that kind of an issue going there. There we are. And I'm going to click load. It's just going to load the aircraft up. Now, the only thing we have to do is change the fuel quantities, but I have to do this because of our ACARS. So ACARS is pulled up, ready to go. We're going to get out of here with 6.7 on the gas. A couple ways you can do this. You saw it yesterday. So 6,700 pounds. Enter. That's looking good. We're still forward. Can you believe it? Jeez. I'm going to go ahead and click set all. That's going to set all of our numbers. And we are good to go. The weather looks perfect. Sean, what's up, man? Welcome aboard. The weather looks great, folks. Nothing to speak of. Turbulence. We might have a little disturbance down in Miami, but that's kind of normal. There's a low pressure system right off the Keys. It's kind of just dumping stuff on Florida right now to the south. So scattered showers are in the forecast. So when we get to Miami, we'll see. I want to get a good push out of here. It's 11:51, so we're going to go right into this. I already set the FMC. That's already programmed. Like I said, I did this before I walked out of the aircraft. Power fuel coming on. We're going to go ahead and click start. this is coming on, that's coming on, and we are good. I hope you had a great day. Both of those are lows, probes coming on, and we should be all set, ready to go. I hope you folks had a good day, like I said. And hello, Charlotte, welcome aboard. Shelton says, happening. What's happening, Sean? I got it. And then tomorrow, I got to get this done, and I'll tell you why. Tomorrow, I got to do a NHL charter trip. And folks, I think I had it scheduled for way early in the morning, but I've got something to do at 7 tomorrow night, so it kind of conflicts. I think I scheduled it late afternoon. So if you're a member of ours on YouTube or Patreon, you'll be able to see that stream. And I think it's right at 5, if I'm not mistaken. Been busy setting up coastal charters. That's right, Sean. This is Sean's busy season too. All right, folks, just like normal yesterday, we got the APU started. I'm going to go ahead and launch this, and hopefully that works. It does. APU's on a line. We got APU available light is on. Come over here. We'll shut that off. We'll get a good push here. And we have got the air conditioning cart connected, so we'll disconnect that. We're also going to go ahead and close that, remove that, and we'll pull the jetway off and call for actually a push right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get prepared for push and departure. As we do that, I'll get ready here. I hope you enjoyed your day. I hope you enjoyed the stream yesterday. It was a long stream, but...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 5205 with service to South Carolina. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
Secure. All passengers are aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us.
All right.
Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft.
Here we go. Folks from the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 5205, nonstop service over to Myrtle Beach. Flight time today is a whopping 27 minutes once we're airborne. Weather in Myrtle Beach, it's beautiful, 10 miles, clear skies, and about 72 degrees with just a beautiful day to fly. So welcome aboard. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Folks from the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 5205, nonstop service over to Myrtle Beach. Flight time today is a whopping 27 minutes once we're airborne. Weather in Myrtle Beach, it's beautiful, 10 miles, clear skies, and about 72 degrees with just a beautiful day to fly. So welcome aboard. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Why didn't I hear that? All right, folks, call the ground power to get over here. GSX. Let's go. What is this? Yeah, I called for push like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. That's going to release the chocks. Call. Beacon lights coming on. Anytime they're ready. Auto on, auto, and auto. Let's go. Okay, I don't see her. Oh, we got a door open. That's why. We got 2 doors open. They're not going to hook up with that. There we go. Closed and closed. Let's see if that works. Does that trigger anybody? I'm ready. Let's do this thing. She's standing there with the pin. Is this continued? Yeah, this is continued, Pops. We timed out yesterday. The internet didn't get going until this morning. And it was a little rough. All right, what are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to reset it. See if we can't get this thing to work. Now I'm going to click, I'm just going to actually restart. I'm just going to restart this thing to see. I did an update today. So let's see if we can't get this thing to go. There she is. She's walking. Okay, while she's walking, I think. And look, hey, there's people, and they're not pink anymore. I didn't update. That's probably what it was. All right, let's come down there while they're doing that. We're going to go to the doors. Everything is green now. We're good there. Hydraulics coming in. We've got green lights, 19 degrees and 60 straight across. 3A is on. Electric system is good. APU is supplying the generator right now. I hit that again, and our DC bus is good to go. Fuel coming in. Great. Yeah, let's go. Flight controls coming in. Now, I just got to set the trim really quick. Trim is 7.0, so not too far off where we are. There we go. 7.0 on the trim, looking good. These are coming armed. And I'm just going to run the checklist really quick. 4-star logbook is checked and complete. I filled out our logbook already. The same fuel load as yesterday. Oxygen is great. I think it was like 1840. It kind of looked early. 1840 it is. Oxygen is set. Park brakes on. Fuel quantity is verified. Altimeters coming in at 3. What was the altimeters? 3. Okay, we're going to do quick edit push. Use auto stave, please. Okay, release brake. 11:58, so 2 minutes early. And we are going to go ahead. Airports. Raleigh-Durham. And we're looking at weather. ATIS says 29083. So a little off on that. 29083. Nope, I want white needles. 29083 coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention.
29083 set there. It's set there. Let's go start number 2. Number 2 is on there. Coming ahead.
When this light is illuminated,
Fire 2. Here we go.
Low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
I don't think that
take a few moments
is going
now
to work.
To locate your nearest exit.
20, here comes the gas.
Your exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft,
I think that
lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression,
camera's
an oxygen
busted.
mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you.
Altimeter set, the
Place
pressure
it firmly
briefing
over
complete,
your
and
nose
CAS
mouth.
is set.
Secure the elastic
Let
band
me see if
behind
I can
your
get
head.
this thing to
Tighten the
work.
strap if necessary, and breathe normally.
All right.
Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone
Brake
who
set.
requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to remove it.
Yeah, okay. Something's
In the
going on with
unlikely
this
event
thing.
of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch.
Okay, I'm going to have to unplug and re-plug it in.
Wrap the straps around
See
your
if it
waist
works.
and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest
See if we
does not
can't get
inflate
it to work here.
automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light.
Dead.
If necessary, your seat cushion can be used
Oh, wow.
as a secondary flotation device. Pull the
Bummer
strap
on that one.
Put your arms into the strap and hug
CRJ looks good in coastal blue.
Please
Yeah.
securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full
All right, we're only going to start one
Remind you
engine.
that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying
That's
the
good.
smoke
We're going to shut
detectors
that
located
off.
in the
Power
laboratory
fuel
is
coming
prohibited
off.
by law. All of this information can be found
Coming
in
down,
the
looking
safety card
good.
located in the seat back in
Seat
front of
belts.
you. Please read it and let a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
All right, where is she? Here goes flaps. 8. Ja, he says, hello, sir. It's Ja, really. All right, you see her? She's got the pin. We're good to go. Taxi check's coming up, and we're going to go ahead and click that. I got to try to fix stuff here. Well, maybe we get airborne. I won't have time, but whatever. After start fuel checks, anti-ice is set. Rudders checked. We'll go ahead and check our flight controls really quick while I do that. And I'm sorry, I don't know. To get the camera to work, I'm going to have to I'll have to shut my OBS down. And I kind of don't want to do that. Nose wheel steering coming on. So hopefully you're okay with that. Thrust reversers are verified on as well. CAS is checked. We are ready to go. CAS coming in at right there. Stats. 122.8, we're there. Brakes coming off. Let's go, folks. Nose light, taxi light. And I'm going to call. We're on the way. I don't see them online. Raleigh traffic, Riptide 5205, taxi runway 23 right via Fox. Ben says, hey, Jason just checked in. DCA very busy. Had a hard landing. But right on the marks. How's your day? Yep. Day's good. Hard landings are good as long as they're on the mark, man. Don't care. That's a good thing. You know, all these... It doesn't really matter on how hard you land as long as you don't break the airplane. Passengers like it, but still, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't do that. It's not about how much you grease it on the... That's just... I don't think I could do that. I don't think that works. Throttle camera did pop up for a second. Yeah, the problem is, Sean, the throttle cam is stuck. It's not displaying what it should display. And I could try one thing. I could try it before we take off. Maybe we'll go ahead and try that. I'll do it before I take off. I'm just going to unplug it from the computer and plug it back in. All right, let's go airplane. Because I know the throttle cam is cool, so we'll have to check it out. There it is. Beautiful CRJ 700. I do like this airplane. I know it doesn't get a lot of love, but I sure love it. Too bad I won't be flying this for a long time. That's just it. We won't be flying this aircraft for a good time. This is our last leg on this aircraft before we put this thing in a barn. Yeah, and then we're going to be pulling the MD-80 out of, we'll be pulling the MD-80 to go here. Cody says, hard landings are good. Jason is recruiting shareholders. That's right. That's so funny. Because he's right. He's not kidding. If you land hard on this with Coastal Airways, you're going to be paying for your maintenance cost. Comes out of your paycheck. Or soft landing, too. That's even better. All right, let's climb the 10th. Now, we're doing the PAC 9, so we're going to be departing out of here. Top altitude 60. 6,000 feet. I don't like what I'm seeing again here. Hang on just a minute. All right, that's working. I'm going to pull back that throttle just a little bit. You folks want me to see if I can reset the throttle cam for you before we take off? I can do it. It's going to take me about a minute. Not even. I'm not going to reset anything. I'm just going to unplug it from my streaming computer to see if we can get it to work. Usually when it happens, I have to restart my OBS, but I can't do that. I'll lose the stream. So what I will do is try... Oh, crap. Raleigh Tower just popped up on me, so I don't want to lose this forward momentum, and I'm not gonna. Let's call them up. 127,450. Now, the interesting thing is we've got to go heads down. So I have to go to radio, and I have to plug in for what? 127,450. 127.450. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see if it works. Raleigh Tower, Riptide 5205 on Fox right now. Okay, he might not have heard me. So I'm going to see if that stupid thing works. It does. Let's try him one more time. 127,450. I'm on 127,450. 127,450. Raleigh Tower, radio check. Okay, dude, what's going on here? Contact me, 127,450. Do not respond. Okay, I'm on the right frequency. We are dialed in there. My mic's working fine. I cannot hear him. So what I'll try to do is disconnect and reconnect. Let's do this really quick. Gotta love it. I gotta keep it moving just in case we have somebody behind us. $127,450. I am tuned in. Error connecting a voice server. Unable to connect. Why is that? Alright, so the audio is fine on my end, but it's saying error connecting to the remote server. And I don't think I can connect. Why would it say that? It's acting really slow because I'm trying to get this fixed. Alright, I will try it again. I'm going to reboot vPilot one last time, and we'll try this again. Okay, I'm connecting with 5205. That's correct. Connect. Let's see if we can let's give it a chance here before we could.
Riptide 5205, Raleigh Tower.
All right, Raleigh, I think I got you. How do you hear me?
I hear you good. What was the issue? Was it an issue on my end or your end? Do you know?
I don't know. I just actually rebooted like twice, and now it's picked it up, so that's good.
Okay, interesting. You can just taxi straight ahead and hold short of runway 23 right at Bravo 9er.
Okay, we'll taxi straight ahead and we'll hold short 23 right on Bravo 9 for Riptide 5205. We might need a few minutes just to run some troubleshooting. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get your clearance here in a second and get you a squawk code for Riptide 5209er, or Riptide 5205.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I'm going to go hold Bravo 9, which is all the way down. All right, let's start number 1 engine. So the reason you'll have to come down here, just kind of hit ECS, make sure you have at least 40 PSI, and we do. We have 43 PSI. 15. This thing's a slow taxi. 20%. Here comes the fuel. Kick that in there. There's the light. All right, looking good. We're lit.
And actually, Riptide 5209, runway 23 right, taxi via Foxtrot, Bravo 7, Bravo, Bravo 9er.
Okay, Foxtrot, Bravo 7, Bravo, Bravo 9er. Bravo 6 is right there. All right, we got a good light straight across, 2 good starts. Foxtrot Bravo 7's coming up. We'll just go ahead through there, and then we're going to turn into Bravo 9. Okay, engines are looking good. Let's go ahead and click stats. All right, stats are great. We got takeoff config okay. I'm going to go check the, like I said, I'm going to check the camera for you here. Once we get to Bravo 7, we'll turn in. And then we'll go up to Bravo, Bravo 9. Climb this hill a little bit. Come over here. All right, guys. I will do the takeoff checks just a minute. I just got to, again, I'm going to try to restart the staying camera for you. And we'll see if we can't get it to work.
And Riptide 5209, I've got your clearance advised ready to copy.
Roger, just give me a minute. We'll stop the aircraft and then we'll give you a call.
Roger, yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Yeah, what I don't want to do is go heads down, taxi, and right at the same time. That's like a recipe for disaster. Just in case anybody has ever done that before. Not good. All right, this is Bravo 9. Got us all the way down to the end of the runway here. Which we'll take. We'll set the brake, give them a call, get our clearance, and then we'll reset the camera and then roll. Okay, let's give him a call right now. We'll get our clearance and then we'll troubleshoot the camera. If we can't get it to run, then we'll just be done. Brakes on. Tap the brakes. Let's throw the park brake on. Raleigh Tower, Riptide 5205, ready to copy.
Riptide 5205 cleared to the Myrtle Beach Airport. Pac 9 departure, Fayette transition. Maintain 6,000, expect flight level 200, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is offline, squawk 3706.
Pac 9 up to 6,000, 3706 in the box for Riptide 5205.
Riptide 5205, read that correct. Just advise when you're ready for departure.
Okay, just like I said, just give us a minute. We got to troubleshoot something really quick.
No worries.
Okay, 6,002 and then 37037. Sorry, I'm looking down here. 3706. We'll put that right in there. That's what we're squawking now, so you can see 3706. All right, let me try resetting this really quick, and I will be right back. It's not going to be too long, folks, because we've got to get going, so I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
Information Delta is now current. Wind 160 at 6. Altimeter 2982.
Nope. Yeah, it's not going to work, folks. I don't want to reset it, so let's have to deal with it for now. All right, get ready. Members, shoots on. Shoots on in the chat. Let's get out of here. I'm putting my parachutes on now. We're getting ready for takeoff. We'll run the takeoff checklist, and then let's go. Can you hear me okay? Yes, okay, good. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Here we go. Checklist coming up. Before takeoff, takeoff config verified. Fuel, quantity, and balance. Right there on the override. We're going up there. It's good to go. Strobe lights coming on. Wing inspects lights are on. Landing lights are coming on. And we're out of here. Normal, and everything else is good. All right. Brake temps good. Cross-feed valves set. Flight controls are checked. Takeoff briefing is complete. Ignition is on. CAS is set. Runway heading is set. Let's go. Raleigh Tower, Riptide 5205, ready to go. 23 right.
Riptide 5205. Turn left heading 210, runway 23 right, cleared for takeoff.
210 on the turn, 23 right, clear for takeoff. Riptide 5205. 210 on the turn, folks. 210. Pop the brakes. Take a look. Looks good on the approach end. 210 on the turn. Let's go. 24210. There we go. Thank you, Sean. All right, Pack 9 coming up. It's just basically straight out. We're actually going to go 210 now on the turn. Let's see if I can just kick myself up. There we go. Let's get you a good roll. 2-3 on the pavement. 2-3 coming on the ND. And we're turning 2-3 on the compass. Lights are on. Here comes the throttles. And we're going to push them up. First click. Click, clack. And toga. Max thrust set. $80 knots. Checked. More V1. Rotate. Little easy. Positive ready to climb. Gear coming up. Raleigh Tower, Riptide 5205 out of 13 for 6.
Riptide 5205. You can monitor Unicom 122.8. I've got traffic off the departure end of the runway about 10 miles. He looks to be loitering at about 8,000.
Okay, thanks for the heads up. We'll keep our eye on him. We'll switch over to Unicom as well. Thanks for the ETC. We'll see you.
No problem. See you, man.
Okay, flaps up. Speed check coming in. Nav coming on. I'm going to climb, start accelerating through the climb. 6,000. We're going to go up. climb thrust set. A little late on that. It's a little bit bumpy. I expected to be a little bit on the choppy side because we're getting there's a low level jet stream here that is kind of wreaking havoc. We're going to bring this up to 200. That's our altitude today, and we're going to go ahead and throw the autopilot to the on position. Whoa, see that?
Traffic.
You guys see that traffic right there? Holy smokes. Where's the TCAS? Woo, that was close. I saw the corner of my eye. Did you guys see that? Jeez. 122.8. I was looking for him. All right, well, there's for TARA, there's where the heck was the alert? I'd like to know. Oh, yeah, hang on. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and do that again. We're kicking the speed up too much. Let's go CAS on the speed. We'll go ahead and lower that to 260. It's going to climb like crazy. Nav is set. Whew. All right, hold on. We did have that, but where was the TCAS alert? That's what I want to know. I got a TA. I didn't get an RA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet, so you may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up the speed. Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Holy cow. It's probably the closest I've come on VATSIM, actually. All right, airplane, what are you doing? Get on the profile, will you? Let me help you. All right, let's go like this to heading select. We'll go straight up to here, click the heading, hold. Let's go right to Aviation. Is there traffic going into Raleigh right now? I just called the frequency to see if anybody's there. He warned me, that's for sure. Now, we got a traffic advisory. We didn't get a traffic alert. Speed should be set. Airplane, what are you doing? Let's get that speed pulled back just a little bit. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and reset the CAS. Speed set. There we go. Pull the speed down. 280 should start our climb. Boy, already making me work. Okay, get back on heading here. Legs page coming in. We got the vectors. That's what it is. Fayette right now, folks. We're going to head right to Fayette. Execute that. It should take us over to Fayette. That's perfect.
Raleigh traffic, yellow 705, turning base for runway 23 left.
That looked like a 787, wasn't it? So I'm actually going to take over and go vertical speed. We're going to start our climb here ourselves to 200. And that traffic in Raleigh, we're sorry. We saw you at the last minute there. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and click nav, and hopefully this thing will hook up and fly direct to Fayette. Come on, bro. See how it says vector still? We don't want that. We want it to clear to go to Fayette and then execute. And we should go direct to Fayette now, and we should be on a climb. And it's not holding the speed very well. Do you see that? Like, I should be in the climb detent. It should be starting to climb. Now we're in vertical speed, so I'm going to take that off and go either VNAV, take off vertical speed, or we're just going to go straight up speed climb here. Let's see what it does. 180. Don't forget your flows. You don't want to... I mean, that was pretty spooky. That's about as close as I came in real life, too, from actually hitting an MD-80. All right, you are just not going very well for us today. Let's go with speed. Let's see how you do there. There we go. That's going to go whoop. Altitude capture. 20,000. 200. All right, we got it. Okay. Let's go ahead and not get flustered. We're going to lock this up. The speed is too dang high again. Coming back on the power. Sencho, going to hit the sub right now. I appreciate it, man. I got the alerts off. Sorry, because of the it's an echo. Like when I start talking to ATC, there's an echo. I appreciate the sub though. If you're new and you want to know what we're about, it's pretty simple. Learn something, have fun, and do it right. As we almost collided with the 787. All right, 2992 straight across the board. We don't have a lot of time up at altitude. We're almost there. I'll tell you right now. On our legs page, prog page coming up, we are looking at 6 minutes, and then we're there. So we're going to start our descent. After takeoff, gear flaps up, fuel crossfade is closed. Bleeds, APU and bleed and APUs off, thrust is set, and reversers are off. I'm going to keep the seatbelts on because the whole way it's going to be pretty darn quick. We're going to go ahead and get the weather over in Myrtle Beach right now. So I'm going to click airports. We're going to go to Myrtle Beach. Let's take a look at the ATIS. And ATIS is coming in. No ATIS. Okay. METAR. 210 at 7. 10 statute miles. So let's put that in here. 210. And I'll have the paperwork for you on the next flight here. 210 at 7. Visibility is 10 miles and clear skies. It's beautiful. Temperature is 21. Dew point 14. Altimeter is 29090. We're going to land 18. Is that south runway? All right, so let's take a look at Myrtle Beach. We'll take a look at approaches. And we're going to plug in the 18 approach. And
I feel the need.
Oh, gosh, that was loud.
The need for speed. Ow!
Yo, Shelton, man, that's awesome. That blew my eardrums. I got to get the alerts on for you, honestly. I just need to sit down and work it out. I tried doing it, but it's like it took me hours before and I couldn't do it. So I've got to find to do that. But I appreciate the hookup, Shelton. That was awesome. Yeah, he's now a member. And by the way, if you become a member, appreciate that, man. And you go to our Discord channel, you'll see the FSBN Discord channel, and it depends on the level that you sign up at. You can download our flows. We have our 737 flows and our MD-80 flows available on the Discord, so check that out as well. Comes with something, right? Trying to provide value on this channel. Drums, hockey, aviation. Those 3 things I absolutely love, dude. So I love the drums, hockey, and aviation. All those three things are sweet. Greetings from El Paso, Texas. Heading out to Alabama to build time. ATP flight school officially complete. Nice. Is that you? I think that's awesome. Congrats. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of work too, right? You're headed to Alabama, huh? What are you going to build time in? And you're ready for the hockey season too. I think. Did you go to? I don't know. I think. Is it John? I think that's you. I think that's your line. I saw. I don't know if that's right, but what's in Alabama? What are you going to do? Are you going to do a CFI or something out there? Okay, we got UDEX or UXDEP. That's what we're going to go direct to. So let me go ahead and pop this in here. We're flying straight to UXDEP. Here we go. We're going to be doing a 2,000 feet. You can see it's at 4,000 there. That ain't going to work for me. So go to the legs page and we're going to plug in 2,000 at UXDEP. That is perfect, but we got to start descending right now. So what we're going to do is go to altitude. We're going to drop this down. We're going to start right away that vertical descent because whoa, hold on, I think the airplane's on a VNAV. I don't want to do the VNAV descent right now, although it's going to hold that. Let's just see how it does. Yeah, it's John finally done. Well, congratulations, John, man. That's a lot of work, dude, but you did it, so good for you. Good on you. You got a 172 at a KHUA. HUA. Cody, I think, is that he's right in that region. That's pretty cool. So you're gonna be CFIing out there, bud? There we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and chop that to idle, thrust, and I'm gonna change the altimeter all the way down. We got to get down to 2,000 feet. You can see how quick this is. So let's see if we're going to have to intervene. I'm sure we will on the CRJ. No joke. All right, I know we've got a flashing barrel here. We're going to go ahead and change that right now. We'll set that. By the way, Shelton, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the hookup. That's awesome. Support. He says, love the... absolutely love this VA. Tremendous respect. Nope. Tremendous respect for you guys too out there watching. It's pretty cool that you take your time and you watch this stuff, which is great. But I want to provide you with something useful as well, right? 2990, and I hope I do that. 2990 right there. You know, somebody had asked in. They said, "Hey, that's not the right one. I'm gonna go speed. Let's go 280 on speed." No CFI, just building time, doing right cross-country flying until I go back to SkyWest Dispatch in June, hoping to have 1,200 hours by then. Dude, you're going to get sucked up really fast. You're going to get in there, no problem. They're going to take you in a minute. I mean, you're right there. That's the cool part. You're almost there. You'll get the time, and you'll be flying some RJs for sure. It's be fun. Be a good time for you. All right, we've got UXDEP. You can see this 2,000 and above. What I'm going to do is increase our range to see this. See how if you just let the autopilot do its thing, it's going to screw you. So what you're going to have to do is intervene and say, all right, thanks, but no thanks, autopilot. So let's take it off. Let's go vertical speed. And then we're going to start our vertical speed descent. And we're going to do this by just kind of getting this thing. And you could have done this old school and done a 3-to-1 glide path, but you got to take in consideration we got about a 31 headwind. I like that right there. We're going to cross UXDEP a little bit before we need to, and that's perfect. And we're getting into the bumps, so I'm going to have to slow this aircraft down. Like I read in the weather reports, we have a low-level jet stream. a low-level jet around 30 to 50 knots right at this altitude. I think it was low level, they said. So it was like right around 10,000, and they're expecting bumps in this range. It's going to be a visual. I have no idea why I can't get this thing to work. Hold on just a minute.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin.
No, I didn't.
However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
Play seatbelt sign chime. Yes. Why can't I hear the seatbelt going? Whatever. I turned it back on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is now turned on, so it is time to return to your seats and fasten
Yeah,
your
you
seatbelt.
think? But the time will come. I only have 255 hours. That's fine. But the time will come quick. Yeah, it's gonna be fine, man. You'll do it. Enjoy the ride. enjoy the experience. For sure. All right, there's 10,000. We gotta start slowing down. Let's pull some brake. 250 on the speed. I'm a little behind, folks. I'm a little bit behind the airplane. You can tell as a pilot when you're behind. I'm behind. And now, being my safety background, I know I've got to catch up.
We have begun our final descent into South Carolina. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
The thing is, these short flights, they are demanding, okay, because you don't get a lot of time to do anything. All right. Shoot's on in the chat, if you remember. Shoot's on. Here we go. This is my parachute, folks. All right, looking good on speed now. We're good. So I know I'm a little bit behind the airplane, okay? And I know what I got to do, okay? I've got to stay ahead, look at what's going on, really catch up mentally. And we're good on speed, good on altitude. We're looking good at UXDEP. We're going to be at UXDEP at 2,000 feet. We'll take it straight in. We're going to land runway 18, which is a nice long runway for us at Myrtle Beach. I think it's pushing like, it's about 9,500 feet. We'll only need about 3,000 of that. Normal braking, we'll kind of roll out. If we can roll out on Alpha 3 on the high speed, that'll be perfect for us. We can get a good roll out there. I'm going to go ahead and do my descent checklist and mental flow first. Lights are coming on. Wing inspect lights on. Those three are on. That's good. That's on. Ignition. Coming across. Belts are on. Hydraulics are good. Coming across. This is on. That's on. Run the checks, please. 29990. Descent checklist is pressurization. Okay, I got a Delta P coming down 2.4. Altimeter is verified, set at 29990. Landing data is complete. We've got 136 knots. We'll set that. I don't think we had winds, right? We have 7 knots on the winds. That's not bad. Do we have anybody controlling? We have Charlotte, Raleigh, and Jacksonville is not up. Approach briefing is complete. CAS is check. And our speed's just a little darn high, so I'm going to pull that power, the speed brakes. Okay, I'm caught up. You know, as a pilot will tell you, they can always find and always feel when they're behind the airplane. Whether you're flying a Cessna or a jet like this, you can always feel like, oh shoot, we're behind it. And now I'm going to decrease the rate of descent because we're going to definitely catch UXDEP when we need to. So that's going to help us slow the aircraft down a little bit. And I got to get down just a little bit on the lower end here, about 230 knots. We got the blue needles already. We're going to intercept UXDEP. We'll start looking visual. I've got the ILS tuned and set just for the backup. Click on the radio here. Where's the radio? Radio. Right there. Nav is auto. All right, 2,000, 1,000 to go. 1095. We are getting the snot kicked out of us right now, folks. I would have let the flight attendants know before we took off. I would have debriefed them briefed them, I should say, before we took off and said, we're not doing any service today. This is such a fast flight. We don't need any of that, so just remain seated. And I would obviously let the passengers know that as well, because look at what's happening. You know, we're getting the snot kicked out of us pretty good right now. All right, there we go. 2,000 feet. Do you see an airport out there? It's going to be a spicy approach. I got it. Runway is all the way over there. I'm going to kick it down just a little bit, about 210. Looks like 136 knots. That's with the addition. You can arm the approach. I'm just going to do that just to set it up, and I'm going to have to take it off here in a minute. All right, there's 2,000 UC step. Once we hit UC step, we're going to go ahead and descend down to 1,600. I'm going to set that right now. There we go. Speed's coming back. Right UC step. Let me give him a call. 122.8. Myrtle Beach traffic, Riptide 5205 on final runway 18 Myrtle. All right. Intercept speeds in. Now I'm expecting a speed correcting. I'm going to get to 180 here once I get my flap in. But I don't want to drag the flap out right about now. Okay, here we go. Flap coming in 8. Now we're visually at plenty of time. I'll push the throttles up to get about, hold that 180. Okay, there's the hookup. Waiting for it. All right, we're going to go ahead and slide this out. We're going to go to the green needle. There we go. I got a visual anyway. I mean, it's beautiful out here. A lot of golf courses here in Myrtle Beach. All right, check the wind. The wind is coming in from the right, so we're going to have a nice little crosswind on the right side. We'll have to put the nose of the aircraft. So I want to make sure the runway's to my left. And we're going to do a nice little crab into the wind here. It's pretty stiff. 20, 21. I expect a shear again. It's going to go from 20 to 7. So expect that shear coming in. And you will lose airspeed when you do it. Well, Bevet coming up to Bevet, which is going to be what, 2, 3, about 4 miles. Okay, flap 20. And those are armed. We're going to start slowing here to 160. Gear is coming down. And hopefully when we land, we could reset this camera for you guys. All right, setting speed, coming on down to our 138, but we're not going to hold that. We're going to hold about 145 just because of the gust. You know, I know ref says 138, but you know, or 136. So here, I was actually drop that down just a little bit. There we go. All right, coming on the flaps, flap 30. One more notch of flaps. We're going to kick it down to 45. Landing checklist. All right, where are we? Forward landing. Thrust reversers are on. Landing gear is down. 3 green. Flaps 45 and set. Runway's in sight, obviously. Watch that crosswind. We're at 17 knots now on the right. Speed's coming in. $1,000. Check my plane. Okay, 1,000 sync, 900 speed, 140, 138. I'm going to head correct speed right now. On slope. I'll have to recorrect that. We're getting a little on the low side. There we go, right there. Hold. I'm not going to do a duck under on this. Just because of the winds. I'm expecting that shear line a little bit coming up. We're at 12 knots now. 500 feet. Check. I'm going to slide that runway just to the left here. Speed's coming in.
300.
See that shear we just hit? Little bit of a loss here. I'm going to just kind of correct. There we go, right there. That'll get us back on profile. We're slightly on the low side, which is fine. We're going to bleed the speed now. We're good. Got it made.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Round it out. Come on. Come on. Float it all the way down the runway. That's something I don't want to do. Nose gear down. I got one in reverse. One's not in reverse. I'm going to get off that high speed Alpha 3 up here. Coming out of reversers. Welcome to Myrtle Beach. All right, looking good here. I got to slow the aircraft down. I don't want to take that. I want to take that high speed, but you don't want to corner. We got to turn all the way around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to South Carolina. The local time is 12:47 p.m. and it's currently about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins.
All right, coming across here, taxi, wing inspects are off, strobes are off. We got to slow the aircraft down here before we make this turn. Like remember I said, it's a pretty sharp turn, so you want to kind of keep it below 15 knots when you do this. Otherwise, the airplane's going to go like that. And it's not a fun, pleasant ride for passengers, that's for sure. All right, welcome to Myrtle Beach. We're going to have to do a turn, head over to Miami. I wish I had a dispatcher to give me a dispatch. I am going to hire one of those people for sure. All right, coming off, that's off. Let's go ahead and turn on power fuel. That's coming up. It's going to open our back door on the APU. APU SOV is open. We're going to fire it up. Quick start. Okay, we've got windshield heat off. Probe heat's coming off. All set. How we doing the landing, folks? Is that all right? I'm going to go to Bravo 6 on GSX, I think. Let's see, Myrtle Beach. We're looking at taxi, gate coordinates. Yep, Bravo 6 is our gate, folks. Sean's got the parachutes going. Gotta love the parachutes. Jacksonville Center is online, so we're gonna get some, hopefully we get some ATC over to Jax. I'm letting the engine cool down, if you're wondering. I'm gonna shut it down here shortly. APU is started, so we're gonna come back down on the throttles and shut number 1 down. There we go. Number 1 is off. Okay, I got our gate. I've got to look at really quick. I need to see what we're going to be doing here in terms of schedule. I'll make sure we're on that schedule. Okay, nose lights coming off. Recog's off. Ah, man, if I could get a schedule. Watch this thing spool down. Beautiful, huh? Look at that spool down. Too bad it doesn't spool up like that. It just like instantly turns. The spool down's cool, but 12:51. I think we're on time. Okay, taxi lights are off. I'm going to go ahead and taxi in here pretty quick. I got to look to see if I can find my schedule, because that's an important thing to do. We're going to be turning this aircraft pretty quick. And then I have to go get the dispatch ready to go for the next leg. That's why I can't wait to hire a dispatcher, because then we can just go, he or she, here's the dispatch. Oh, great. Here's the release. We're out of here. All right, let's park the jet, right? It's not over until we get into the gate here. Yeah, wait till we go to Cafe Rio, man. That's what I want. I don't know if I could show the stream that. Stop. Okay. Brakes coming on. Pull the brakes. Cut. Seatbelts coming off. All right, a couple of housekeeping issues that we'll do first. Beacons off. We'll keep that on. Hydros coming off. Hydraulics. Seatbelts off there. Pumps coming off. I'm going to leave one on just because the APU is burning. That's good. Coming across. Let's get our time in. And let's get the gate on the aircraft. We'll throw the chocks on. Throwing the chocks up. Opening the door. Closing the stairs. Throwing those open. Getting that hooked up. And GSX coming over here. Deboard, please. Deboarding is requested, they said. Howdy. What is going on? Cam, MD80, how are you, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome aboard. We just made it on the first leg here. We got in at 12:53 local. It took us 53 minutes, folks, on Bravo 6 on the gate. Once we're hooked up, I've got, I'm going to throw off the APU. So again, go on the overhead. It's really hard to see this. You want to make sure that you kind of get up to that panel to see if that button's in. It's in now, and then I'm going to go ahead and click that. In use, that's coming off. Great. Okay, 70 degrees, that's coming off as well. Last thing we do is our ACARS, and we'll go ahead and fire that in. ACARS going to file the flight. It is now filed. Good stuff. I'll come over here and we will go to standby. Wait just a minute. Oh yeah, that's COM 2. All right, that's on standby for comms. Okay, Jacksonville is online. Let's go ahead and get ready.
Passengers have left the plane.
Shelton, you have a joke? Love the livery. Mustafa, how are you? By the way, man, you got an awesome thing going on over there. Yeah, John told me about it. I'll see if I don't know if he talked to you, but I'll try to. I'll see what we can do for tomorrow. I've got a meeting in the morning with them. So, all right, let's hear the joke. I've got one too. I forgot. I usually start with the joke. I probably said it before, but all right. While we do that, I've got to make sure that I look at my schedule. What time is it? It is 12. Okay, we're due here at 1300. We're pushing at 1330, folks, to Miami. So Myrtle Beach, Miami, 1330. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go ahead and get the dispatch release going. I'll change a few things. I don't think it's 05 now. I think it changes to 6, doesn't it? Nope, same flight. 5205, continuing service. Okay, done. Let's go over here and get this done. Over to here. Gotta pull that up. If I can get this to pull over. There we go. And over here. All right, I'll show you how much money we've got. We've got 123,000 in our bank account. I just saw the aircraft name Sharkbait. That's right. That's right. Matter of fact, it's probably going to be our call sign for this one, for this airline, you know, for the coastal connection. All right, so let's go to operations. Look at that bank account. We could definitely grease an airplane in and no problem. Maybe we'll grease this thing in Miami. The problem is if we do that, it goes into maintenance, but I don't care. I mean, they have to look it over and make sure it's good to go. So I think we'll do that. Why don't we do a greaser in there? Okay, so I'm going to click new flights. We're going to go from Myrtle Beach to Miami. Then we've got to make sure we got the right one. That's 7. That takes off at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is Myrtle Beach. That's one of them. That's 5200. That goes from Myrtle to Raleigh. We just went the other way around. Myrtle Beach International Airport to Miami International 5205. It leaves at 1330. That is our flight. Let's go ahead and click that. And click OK. And we're going to go into our bids. Once we click our bid, it'll throw us to there, and we will going to go ahead and create that. Sharkbait is the aircraft. We'll pull that in here. Alternates, I don't think there's any alternates in Miami. We'll check it as we get a little, as we figure it out. I'm going to put none for now. We can always change this later. Cont fuel, that's contingency. We're going to put in 25 minutes. Add, I'm going to add about 600. I know that's a lot in this aircraft. I'm just going to add that. We got a full boat again, 70 passengers. Jeez. Flight 5205. I'm going to try to give you the picture here and let you know what I'm doing. Maybe. Let's see if it works. Yep, it works. Okay, so this is our paperwork. We're coming in. This is what takes the most time right here, is this stuff. MYR, Myrtle Beach over to Miami. We're looking at departure time at 13:30. You lost the paperwork, dang it. All right, PAX is coming in at 70. Bag weight is 2240. Probably not going to be that way. That's if we had a full complement. We're not going to take any cargo. I guarantee we don't have enough. And the payload's going to be a little off. It says 17.3, but that's not going to be correct because of we're not taking all that cargo. Aircraft 100, Charlie Sierra. Date is 10, is it 10/9? 10/10. 23. We're looking at, we don't know on the fuel yet, so we'll figure all that out here in a minute. Let's go to SWA. We're going to generate our flight. Where do the fruits go vacation? Wait a minute. Shelton says, where do fruits go on vacation? Paris. That's pretty good. I like it. I like that joke. We'll keep that. We'll keep that around. All right. Okay, looks good. Miami is reporting broken. Remember I said vicinity showers? Well, they're calling it right there. Probably going to be, let's see here, from 1300. That's not even close to where we are right now. It is 249. So we're going to be right in this section. Good to go. All right, this is 1300. It's early in the morning. So right now it's variable at 3, greater than 6, scattered 3000, broken at 25. It's perfect. Let's go ahead and drop that right there. We'll take a look. Just take a look at the turbulence. Just want to make sure, you know, for turbulent wise, yep, it's going to be a little bit bumpy. We were in that crap, so we know exactly what it was looking like. Even on the lower end, I'm sure it's going to be bumped up pretty good. Yeah, that low, remember I was talking about that low level jet stream? There it is. What in the world is my first officer barking at? So we're probably in the 30 range. It's going to be bumpy. I don't want to keep it too low because we're even in the lower altitudes. It's going to be lighter, but we know we can always go low. This is the route. It's probably not going to be a better route for us, so we're going to have to keep that. All right, we've got cost index of 20. We've got a block time of 1:50. Won't take that long. Pretty much sure of that. Let's go ahead and click auto on that. We've got 600 on extra fuel. I'm fine. We're going to come down here. Everything else looks great. We're going to go ahead and click create. It's funny. Good stuff. Okay, what we'll do is we're going to click view the PDF, and then I'm going to pull this up for you as well. So minimum fuel coming in at 9.3. So we're going to go 9.3 on the fuel here. Maximum is where are you? Max plan is at 10.4. We're going to take off with 10.4, and it is Jet A Bravo 6 is where we go. Zero fuel on this. It's going to be a little off, like I said, because we're not taking all that cargo. So our zero fuel weight right now is 61.6. Our takeoff weight is going to be roughly 71.5 with a landing weight of 65.9 on the landing weight. Great. Everything else looks good. Airport is, where are we? MYR, Myrtle Beach, going to Miami, back home. What are we? Bravo 6. By the way, if you want to fly, if you want to apply for Coastal, go ahead and do so. We're starting to hire pilots again. You know, we're doing onesie twosies until we get to January. They'll probably hire 5. But if you're interested, you got at least 200 hours on VATSIM. You love the 737 or the CRJ. You can, and we recommend you to apply, and even the MD-80. I know some people like to be type locked, and that's fine too. You can do that. File in the flight plan 5305. It is. Do I get a green on that? Come on. See the time we're taking to do this? I think. Oh, let me disconnect and then file the flight plan. There we go. That's what I had to do. And I'm going to reconnect. There we go. Okay, that's in. Let's go into the jet and let's call for catering. So you know we're going to need catering on this flight. Last flight we didn't get it. We're going to get it here. Why is this guy all pink again? What the heck? Okay, request catering service. MD-80 is the best. Yeah, we'd be flying a lot of that, man. Disconnected from voice again. Now I'm connected to the server. What is going on with the voice server today, folks? Jeez, what is up? Okay. Time check, 13:04. A lot of time. Let's go ahead and get everything ready to go. What did PACX say? Probably terrible, right? And the flight. How did we do? 66. Unexpected departure delay. Really? They didn't even warn us that we'd be stuck on the ramp. Well, for 2 minutes? Boy, complainers. They're nothing but complainers, aren't they? I'm actually going to close this and reopen it. All they do is complain. Yeah, Shelton, it goes into a maintenance check. Goes into a soft landing check. They just want to make sure the speed brakes work. It takes really 5 minutes. It's not that big of a deal, but it goes into maintenance. Like I have to actually go to the admin and pull it out of maintenance once it's done. But yeah, because you got to make sure the spoilers come up. So they just do a spoiler check. That's all they do. In real life, probably not the case, but I like it. It's fun. All right, we're going to start flight. We're going to go with career mode. This is going to be 1 hour and 50. It's not going to be that long. We're going to take off in, I'll say 40 minutes. 360. Good. We got a full boat today. And we are going to serve snacks. Okay, looks good. What we'll do now is going to get in here and roll with the, I got to pull in our sim brief. So let's roll in sim brief right now. We're going to click that. That's going to download everything into the aircraft systems. That's what we need. And world flight's coming up. That's awesome. So wish you folks the best of luck over there. I know that's going to be crazy. Do you want a D-board crew? No, I don't. We're on the aircraft. Let's not do that. And now I'm going to call them right now, GSX, and say, deboarding is complete. Waiting for your action. Open service door. Well, duh. Let's go ahead and open the service door. It looks like, yeah, it looks like we're getting catering on the aircraft. And I'm sorry, folks, my stupid, dumb camera doesn't want to work. I usually have the throttle cam for you, but it doesn't look like it's working today. I'd have to reset it. I mean, you'll see that, but it's not live, so I got nothing. All right, let's get back in here. I'm going to jump in the flight in the FMS. We'll do the FMS stuff first. Let me look at fuel. Fuel is 2385. Let's just write that down. 2385 on both. 2290, and then we're going to go nothing in the center. 4680. Okay. What did we plan? We planned, what, 10.4? So that's going to be 5.2. 5.20, and that's 10.4. Okay. Let's jump in right into here, and we'll do this together. Normally, I'm going to be looking down. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm on the SoCal team this year. Yeah, man, I saw you on there. I was talking to John for a bit. It looks awesome. Looks real fun. Let's go to index. We are going to go ahead and click position initial, and we're going to initialize our position. We're going to be at MYR, Myrtle Beach Airport. Dump it over there. We're going to go ahead to the next page and just kind of look again where we are on our terminal. We're in gate Bravo 6, which basically gives us north 33, 41, 78, 55. Yep, so any one of these will work. I'll pick the GNS. Throw that in the scratch pad. We'll go to the previous page and just dump it over the top. That's it. Flight plan coming in. We are going to go Kilo MYR, Myrtle Beach, and then Kilo Miami right there. We're going to drop it into the route. Whoop, brings it all up. We're going to depart runway 18. Looks like we're not going to import from SimBrief. I'm going to pull in Miami flight here. It keeps disconnecting me, and I don't know why it's doing that. The server is doing that. I'm going to go ahead and try to set different servers here if I can force the server. And it won't let me go to another network, unfortunately. There's only one VATSIM server. You're kidding me, right? See, I would love to be able to keep the servers going. Like, it won't let me pull in the server, and it's really annoying. It just says automatic. Oh, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and reset this again. Okay. VPilot's in there. I'm not worried about it. It's coming up. All this crap we have to do. You know, it's tough. As being a simmer is hard, man, because you've got to do everything, right? We don't have dispatchers. We don't have baggage handlers. We have to set it all up. It's annoying. I would love to be able to just pull in a gate and have everything done automatically. We just click one button and it's just like, yeah, just do it. Everything. Load them, board them, deplane them, fuel them. Okay, execute. Just want to make sure we've got everything good to go. We'll go ahead and click execute. Now I'll check it everything again here in a minute, but we're going to go arrivals, departures. The arrival page into Miami is going to be the Coastal 2. Isn't that very nice? Coastal 2. Oops, that's not the right one. Cancel the mod. We're going to come with the Coastal 2. Coastal 2 with the...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is your flight attendant speaking.
Durable transition? Treble transition?
All large carry-on items are in the overhead
Okay, we're probably landing 8 right. I don't think so. Probably end 1-2 or something like that. But they might send us on 8 right. That's fine. We'll go click execute. Good to go on that. Let's go to the legs page.
Close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats.
I don't know what's going on with the voice server, but it is jacked. It keeps kicking me off. Elms, Cake, Jeved, Jeeved, Wampner, Primus, Kennel, Drebel,
Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Looks good, and that's the arrival. I know that. We'll go ahead and execute that. We're going to go to the pref page, the perf, and we're going to have 70 passengers on board. So let's go ahead and put that in there with the cargo. It's going to be a little less on the cargo. It's going to be, we're pushing cargo at 2240 straight up. So I'm going to go ahead and set that 2240. Oops. We'll execute it, and I'll do it on my, I'll do it on this here. Hang on. 2240, execute. Good. Call the fuel truck. Fuel truck's coming in here. They be arrived already. We're going to go ahead and do this old school, folks. We're going to go ahead and plug in 10.4 on the fuel. You can't choose anymore. I know. It kind of sucks. Pilot, how long you going to fly? 8 hours? No, not tonight. I'm finishing what we were supposed to finish yesterday, but I timed out. So yesterday we had like a 3-4 hour delay. There's no way I timed out. So that was the end of that. It was my internet. They cut the dang internet, so I couldn't do anything. Otherwise, I would have taken that delay and then went, right? Okay, I got to start my ACARS. Let it know what we're doing so we can get billed for this fuel ticket. Load, start flight, time check. 13:13. My gosh, here we go. All right, that's loaded. And now we're going to get the fuel going on the aircraft. And we're going to throw this to the on position. That's going to start pumping in gas. And we're going to go right back down the FMC. Okay, VNAV setup. I'm probably just going to keep it at 290. This is just straight up. Looks like we'll 0.78. So we might get that a little higher on our cruise speed. That's what they're calling for, 0.78. We'll take that. It depends on turbulence, obviously. We've got that VNAV setup is all set, ready to go. We're going to go to the pref page, 32 on the flex temp. And fuel management set, VNAV is set, everything else is ready to go. Legs are back in. All right, I'm good with that. If you're good with that, I didn't see any issues or problems. Okay, here we go. Back up, master caution is off. I got to call Jax. I'm telling you, I keep getting kicked off, and it's so annoying. 135, 925, we'll call for Jax. We'll go get up. We got about 15 minutes before we got to push. CST departing Miami for EWI. Okay, good. I saw that. EYW, sorry. Yeah, I saw you coming in earlier on that. Oh, get off my airplane. See what I mean? It's like, close the door. Be gone already. Right? We have our doors open, right? They should be. Why is the gate disconnected? Really? No, let's go ahead and open and click GSX coming in, and we're going to go ahead and click. Are they boarding right now? Request boarding. Okay. Fuel. Here comes the gate. I'm going to hit the terminal. So I'm going to the terminal really quick while they do this. We'll come back and we'll get this aircraft rocking and rolling. How's that? We should be on time. I'm going to run into the terminal, get a drink. And actually, I'm not going to get a drink. I'm just going to hit the restroom, stretch my legs. All right. I will be right back.
We're ready to go when you are.
Thank you. It's good to know we still got GSX to board, but we'll get going. Gray Aviation, what's going on, man? Welcome aboard. How are you? We're ready to go to Miami. I did reset that, didn't I? Let's see here. Yep, Myrtle, Miami. All right, folks, I'll be right back. Enjoy the views. All right, folks, let's go get our clearance.
Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear.
All
Wind
right,
shear.
what we got
Sink
here?
rate.
I don't know if you heard that, but I sure did. That was awesome. Got a sub right there. Appreciate the sub. I don't know if you heard that, folks. Let me know if you did. I hope you heard it. Appreciate that. That was awesome. Blows my eardrums out, though. But it's cool. It's worth it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check one more time on the throttle cam. I try to get it to... It's a stupid thing. I got to reset it. All right, let's go to and call... If I call ATC, you're going to get a echo in the headphones. Yeah, you heard it. Good shot. Wind shear. That's awesome. So I'm going to just... The alert's going to be off just for a minute. I've got to call ATC. Otherwise, you'll get that echo going. 135.925 coming in on the radio. 135.925. Throw that in there. Let's see if we can listen to Jack Center. I should hear them, so it kind of, I don't know, connected to the voice server. So let's see if this works. Jack Center, Riptide 5205, radio check.
Riptide 5205, 5x5.
All right, we're looking, we're at Myrtle Beach looking to go to Miami, IFR.
Airplane time class.
He's looking and he's like, wait a minute, where'd it go? There it goes. Usually Jack Center's not that quiet, so I was expecting them to be a little busier. Good stuff. Here we go. Fuel, we've got the right amount of fuel on board, 10.5 on the gas. So the fueler is done.
Riptide 5205, cleared from the Myrtle Beach to airport to the Miami airport as filed. On departure, maintain 3000, squawk 0766, hold for release.
Up to 3000, 0766 for Riptide 5205.
Riptide 5205, we're back correct. Hold for release of number 1, shore the runway, right for departure, frequency change approved.
Okay, we'll call you when we're ready for departure for Riptide 5205. 0766.
American 1006, descend and maintain, level 350.
122.8.
Descend and maintain.
So now you go to comms again, so CTAF frequency, and then when we are at the departure in the runway, we'll give him a call. That's what that hold for release means. So if you've ever heard that, that's what that means. It means just to, we're going to have some turbulence up there, folks, right around that, on our descent, right around there. We're going to go up to 360 today, so we are definitely going to be in some turbulence. I hope not, but it might happen. Nav source coming in. Do a couple of things. Look at our clock, 1322. We've got that. We're going to climb up to 3,000 feet. Altitude check, 3,000. Here we come. Okay, just a couple of other things we're going to do. We're going to get the heck out of here. Flights, airports, weather. I'll show you the paperwork, and we're going to get going. All right, let's take a look at this. Cancel that. Let's go at the winds here. 200 at 08. Visibility is in at 10. It is clear. Temperature is 2.14. Altimeter 291. We're going to go runway 18, gate Bravo 6. And that's what we know for now. All right, we're going to come over here and do our departure fuel. We've got 5285. 52. Oh, man, what in the... If I could write 5285, 5285. Remember I was talking about the MD-80, right? We got 10570. Throw my signature. Airport, Miami. Flap's going to be 8. Runway's going to be 18. Cell temp 32. Trim, I don't know yet. Let's go ahead and check that trim out. and hold that thought, right? Coming to performance, we've got 70 passengers. We're putting in 2240, just basically the same dang thing, except for the fuel is different. 10-5, 10-5, 7, 0, enter. Set the payload in the sim. There you go. We've got zero fuel rate at 60.9. That's right. Because we dumped that weight. That's why we did that. 60.9er. Takeoff weight's going to come off at 71.5, which I've got 32 on the trim. Got 6.9 on the trim. We're going to do 134, 143 out. Set that. Bink. Done. 6.9 on the trim, so I don't forget. And then we'll talk about the MD here in a minute. 6.9 coming up. You can see those brakes hot. We should have the park brake thrown, but I can't do that right now because then it will trigger. Oh, you pushed back. No, we didn't. Not yet. Okay, folks, we're almost done.
Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Awesome.
Wind shear. Sink rate.
Yeah, Pops is watching hockey. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of that too. Hey, thanks for the sub. I got to wait for that to come through. That was awesome. You probably didn't hear it because the dang alerts, but I appreciate that. That was awesome. Thank you. Thanks for subbing. Hopefully, you get some value out of this channel. If you're wondering what we're about, it's 3 things. Do it right, learn something, and have fun. That's kind of what we're about in this channel. We're always going to try to do it right. Not all the time do we do so. We always screw up. That's kind of the best part about this. We're learning all the time, which is great. Temperature is airports, Miami coming in, weather. I'm going to get you good PA here, and we're going to get the heck out. I got to walk around the aircraft too. And what do we got there? Okay. Let's walk around the airplane. I've got 13:26 on the clock. And let's go ahead and check it out. Everything's all goofy. We'd come down the jetway here, and we would start pretty much right into this region. So we want to take a look at your pitot tubes, make sure they're good, and your probe is set, and your static ports. You're gonna actually come down here, take a look at the static. That looks good. There's a TAT too. We probably have to look at that when we get across into the jetway. Come back up, take a look at your windshield wipers are good. Radome is still on the aircraft. There's no bird strikes through it. Watch, we're going to hit a bird. We've got pitot. You take a look at your pitot probes. Again, your TAT's right there on this side and your alpha vanes over here. We're going to take a look at our static port. Make sure your drains and your masts are good. We're going to go ahead and shut that door before we get going. This is the fuel port. Make sure that thing's closed. Leading edge of the wing looks great. Lights looking good on this side. Statics, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 static wicks and 3 on the winglet. Looks good. The trailing edge of the wing looks great. This is a good time to look under the engine. Make sure there's no oil unless you're flying a radial. If you're flying a radial aircraft and there's no oil under the engine, it doesn't have any oil. So, it's different for a jet, but for a radial engine, you're going to get a little leak too out of a jet. You'll get some of the fluids just dripping out of there, but it shouldn't drip. I mean, a little bit. Okay, our APU door is open, obviously. Rudder looks good. Stabilizer trim is where it needs to be in between those two, white. Elevator looks great. Exhaust looks good. By the way, Pop said hockey season. Well, my hockey season's starting very soon. No scrapes on the tail. We got to close those doors up there. Again, wing looks very good. Look at the tires. Did I flat spot any of them? Any cords popping out? Nope, looks great. Again, static wicks. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 on this one. Coming across. Lighting looks great. Again, leading edge, excellent. You guys are lazy bums. You should shut this thing. By the way, if you ever worked the ramp, before you shut any cargo door, what you need to do is always look inside and go left and right. And then I used to slam the bottom of it to wake anybody up. We had a few people get stuck in aircraft before. It was a American Airlines F-100. I just dated myself on how old it was. All right, through here, I'm going to try to go and, oh yeah, look at that. That was pretty good. Okay, again, you're going to check the alpha vane there, and we're going to walk in. If you guys haven't seen the cabin, there it is. Be full of passengers and be looking at me like, what are you doing? Man, it shouldn't be, who's flying the airplane? All right, let's jump in. And that's it. E3N, so it's normal to have oil dripping even on newer planes. Yeah, a little bit. You should hear a little bit of one, but I'm not talking about a drip. You might get a little like newer airplanes probably not, but on the older aircraft, yes. You know, on like our MD-80, right? We pull in on an MD-80, we shut it down. It's going to be, you know, we're going to look down. We're going to probably have a few drips of oil under the engine. It shouldn't be like this though. Drip. It shouldn't do that. You know, so if you're ever walking around, you look at it, it's like, oh, there's a little oil coming out of the bottom of the engine or out of the cowling. That's fine. As long as it's not dripping on you and you have good quantity, you're good to go. And that's normal, especially for older aircraft. All right, I got to shut up because we got to go. I will be right back. Folks from the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 5205 nonstop service over to Miami. We should have you on the gate here in about a minute here. Once we're airborne, I show an hour and 22 minutes. Right now, the temperature 84 degrees, few clouds. Might be a little bit bumpy in the cruise portion of the flight. We'll try to find a good altitude. Maybe I can kick the seatbelt sign off for you. Just remember, if the seatbelt signs are off, please be seated just in case we hit any unexpected rough air. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Folks from the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 5205 nonstop service over to Miami. We should have you on the gate here in about a minute here. Once we're airborne, I show an hour and 22 minutes. Right now, the temperature 84 degrees, few clouds. Might be a little bit bumpy in the cruise portion of the flight. We'll try to find a good altitude. Maybe I can kick the seatbelt sign off for you. Just remember, if the seatbelt signs are off, please be seated just in case we hit any unexpected rough air. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. All right, folks, here we go. We're going to go ahead and go click start. APU is coming to start, and we're going to shut the doors. We've got everybody on this aircraft, so we could push out anytime we want. I know we're going to probably be a bit behind. We're 2 minutes behind schedule now. It's going to close these two doors. All right, once this is open, we're going to go ahead and shut that door. We're going to call the jetway out. I'm going to call for push.
On behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard.
Okay.
Takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 5205 with service to Miami. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 50 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seat backs must be in the full upright position for departure.
That's good. APU is on, lights on, shut it down. Disconnecting that. We're going to go ahead and throw the chocks. Doors closed. The beacon light is on. Coming up here, looking good. We're going to throw this to the on position. That's the on position. We're going to go ahead and do our flows right now. Just check that. Aux test, we're going to do a quick edit push, used autosave. Thank you. Okay, 1840 on the pressure. That's looking good. We've got, go ahead and kick that back on. Let's run our checklist and let's go. Before start, logbook is checked and set. Crew, O2 masks are checked. Parking brake is on. Fuel quantity. We verified that fuel quantity at 10.5. Yep. Altimeters verified. I think we got our altimeters set at 29091. Let's go ahead and redo that. 29091 set. CAS is verified. Looking good. All right. Before pushback check is complete, we've got this on, ready to go. Strobes are on. And we are rocking and rolling. Windshield heat coming on to low. Prop heat is on. Let's go. Hydro pumps coming on. One last thing we want to do is make sure the doors are closed. So you're going to flip the doors. Doors are in the green. And then we'll go to the electrics. All set. Ready to go. Brakes off on the push.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, we're going to start one engine today because we're going to be taxiing a runway 18. So we're going to go ahead and fire number 2. And we'll start it right now. 2 to come and start.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Flight
please direct your
director
complete attention
is
to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelts low and tight across
Once it gets to
your lap.
20%, we'll increase the
Insert the
fuel.
metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap.
There we
To
go.
release your seatbelt,
Fuel
lift the
coming
upper
in.
portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the
Fuel's
flight
in,
as you may
out of
experience
standby.
unexpected turbulence.
Number 1.
There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take
Okay,
a few
got a light.
moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards
What
the
is with this pink
In the
stuff
event
going
that the
on? I have
cabin
no
loses
idea.
pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head. Tighten the straps if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it.
Where's he pushing us?
In the unlikely event of a water landing, a
Oh
life
man,
vest
look at
is
that.
in a pouch under your
That's
seat
a
or
lot of
between the
money.
armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic
It's just
pouch
getting
and
lower
remove the
and lower and
strap.
lower.
Wrap the straps around your waist
The
and
brakes
buckle
are
at the
coming
front.
set.
Pull the strap
I wonder
in.
how they're going to get us out of
Inflate
this
the vest, pull
mess.
firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouth.
Jeez. There it goes.
Each vest is equipped with a
Man.
window and a light. If you need to, your seat cushion can be
Alright, I'm going to shut off the APU. The APU is going to come stop.
Make
I'm
sure
going to
to
go ahead and
exit
throw
the
power
aircraft
fuel.
as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Alright, Jack's center is 135.925. 135.925. Stand by. Okay. Flaps coming down. 8. Let's go ahead and check it. I'm looking for the person. You always want to make sure you look for them before you start moving flight controls. There she is. She's got the pin, so you're good now. Left, right, 1, 2, rudder, salute, done. Okay. That's the end of it. Run the checks. Taxi checks coming. Let's do my flows first, and then we'll go through taxi. Nose coming on, taxi on, and I am going to throw that to manual. We're going to have to fire the number 1 engine, but that's going to come on later here. All right, let's do this. Taxi, after start. Sorry, fuel check valve, we've checked it. Anti-ice is set. Rudder is checked. Nose wheel steering is armed. Thrust reversers are on. Okay, after start checklist complete. Taxi, flaps, takeoff data, and trim is set. And brakes coming off. All right, let's go, folks. I think we could turn. Let's just go this way. It's going to be faster. Let me call them up. Raleigh traffic, Riptide 5205, taxi runway 18 via Alpha. All right, folks, let's head over to Miami. Say goodbye. Probably won't see Myrtle Beach for at least a very long time. Just because we're due to fly this MD-80 for the next forever and a day. We can go down Charlie and then Charlie straight up. He said hold for departure, so we'll hold for departure here. All right, how you folks doing? You settling in all right? We got a nice flight ahead of us. Gonna have to deal with a little bit of bumps, maybe. All right, well, this is Charlie. We're gonna go to Charlie to Alpha, and then we'll give him a call. And then we're going to go ahead and fire number 1 when we get on to, you know what, I'm going to start it right after we make this turn on the Charlie 5. We'll go ahead and fire it up. Pop says, when are you going to fly the Rangers? They play tomorrow in Buffalo. Do they play tomorrow in Buffalo, or do they play... I thought they played on Thursday. So they're flying tonight then if they played in Buffalo. Is that right, Sean? All right, let's go fire this up. Fire number 1. I thought they played tomorrow. I got to look at my schedule. I mean, I thought they played Thursday. I'm supposed to fly them tomorrow. There's no way they're going to fly on the same day again. Hi, Jason. What's up, Marco? How are you doing? All the way from Italy. I love it. We're just starting number 1 here. Fuel in. There's the light. We got to make sure, again, we have 43. You want to make sure the ECS, we've got 40, at least 40 PSI, and we do. And we got a good light coming up. Make sure that is on. They play Thursday. I thought so. Pops, don't do that to me. It's like, no way. We got to fly them to Buffalo tomorrow. That's what we're doing. So members, if you're wondering when the heck we're doing that, we're actually doing a stream tomorrow. I think it's early afternoon. We're going to from Westchester to Buffalo, New York. It's probably only going to be, what, 40 minutes maybe, tops? So it's our first season flight. Now, it won't be streamed on public. It'll just be for our private members. So if you're a member on YouTube or Patreon, you'll be able to see it. The link will be provided. It's already provided in the schedule, so that's good. All right, folks, members in the chat, let's go ahead and let's get the shoots on. Shoots on in the chat. Let's do this. We'll do our takeoff checks and we'll rock and roll. I got to get the other one on, but gotta hold. That's good, that's good, that's good. I'll throw it on continuous, get my other harness on. We'll hold for departure and then we'll rock and roll. All right, Marco's hooking it up. Other side. Let's go to Miami. Here we go. What was the push time? You guys got a push time? I think we were 5 minutes behind. Probably make it up in the air, I hope. All right, I'm going to change frequencies. We'll do a runner checklist here. Let's do that right now. Before takeoff, takeoff config, verify. Good to go. Fuel quantity. I've got 10.4, that's plenty. Now we are manual and now on continuous. Brake temps, 0202, we're in the green. Crossfeed fuel flow, we've got that. Flight controls are checked. Takeoff briefing is complete. Ignition, anti-ice is set. CAS and runway heading. I'll go ahead and align the runway right now once we call them. Runway update coming in. Completed. Let's call them up. Jack Center, Riptide 5205, holding short, runway 18, ready to go.
Number 172 Alpha Charlie, Jack Center. I'm going to need you at an altitude for your cruise. Would you like level 330350? Alpha Charlie, I need you at an odd altitude for direction of flight. Would you like level 330, level 350?
And we're holding.
Alpha Charlie, call me maintain level 350.
Pretty, isn't it? It's a pretty bird.
Riptide 5205, release for departure. Time now 0333 Zulu. Clearance void if not off by 0338 Zulu. If not by 0339 Zulu. Vice Jack Center with intentions. Frequency change appeared to call me on airborne.
All right, we'll give you a call. Understand. Riptide 5205. Clear on the left. Clear on the right.
UPS 1321, squawk 7640.
Okay, flight director's on. Looking at the pavement. I got 18 on the pavement. And 18 on the ND. 18 on the compass coming in. Lights coming on. Strobes on. Wing and specs on. Here we go, folks. Let's do this thing. Lined up 40, we're going to go 50. I want to punch it. So here we go. And one more notch. Toga set. Thrust is set. 80 knots, cross check. V1.
Delta 50 Jack Center, squawk 2621.
Okay, we got a positive rate of climb here coming up.
1321 heavy radar contact. Just be advised next time your altitude restriction was 3,000. Climb and maintain 15,000 and clear direct Bristol.
In the wells, here we go. 1,000 feet. Let's go up on the speed. Let's give him a call. Clamp thrust. Set. Jack Center, Riptide 5205 out of 2,000 for 3.
Riptide 5205, ident.
Identing.
Justin Center, $1.24, Pacific 20. We're about 50 miles north of the Yankee. Flight level 254 coming for
flaps 1.
$1.24 Jack Center, squawk 7671.
Squawk 7671, $1.24.
Riptide 5205, radar contact 2 miles south of the Myrtle Beach Airport. Contact Elmsey, climb maintain level 360.
Okay, direct Elmsey 360, Riptide 5205.
Delta 1050, radar contact 5 south of Georgia intersection, maintain level 370.
Flaps up. Speed.
$1.24, radar contact 10 miles northeast of Sienna, New York. I maintain level 370.
What's he laughing at?
370,
Probably talking to his buddy and laughing. Through 4,000. 360 on the climb here. Trying not to overbank the aircraft. Easy to do on this airplane.
Climbing maintain 50340, UPS 1321.
That was some gnarly turbulence out of there, wasn't it? Jeez. Okay, direct Elmsey. All right, looking good. $36,000, there we go. I'm gonna stop that turn right there. Now I'm gonna go direct Elmsey. Speed's gonna be checked. Autopilot's coming on. Okay, speed checked, autopilot on, altitude, we've got it. We're gonna direct Elmsey right now. It's gonna do it like this crazy intercept. It always like almost goes like a 90-degree intercept.
Delta 1050 cross auger to maintain level 270.
All right, that's off. That's off. Nose is off. Recogs are staying on. Everything else is good. 8,000 feet. Going on the speed. We'll start accelerating. Once we get on course here, I'm going to start bringing it up 250 on the speed. Here we go. And the climb detent. Yes. Yes, we're on climb detent. Okay. Climb check. After takeoff, gear and flaps up. All right, fuel cross feed, valves on auto, bleeds are on normal and auto. Thrust is set in a climb, and thrust reversers are coming off. Climb check is complete. 10,000 feet. Here we go. Lap belts are on. We'll take the seat belts. The shoulder harness is off.
We have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatories.
Okay. Do you want to become... Oh, wait, what was that, Sean? Shelton says, where can I find the parachute emoji? Can you help him out on that one, Sean? I think it's going to be in your member section, if I'm not mistaken. It should be somewhere right there. All right, we're through 12. We're going to go ahead and increase our speed now. Okay, I've got to get the, what are we saying? If you sign up for channel membership, shows up the top YouTube emojis. Okay, thanks, Sean. And Sean also said, tomorrow the stream is scheduled for 8 p.m. Yeah, I've got to change that to 5. Because we got to be done by 7. I have an appointment to go to at 7 p.m. tomorrow, so... If we take off right at 5, I mean, I'm going to be ready to push back pretty much at 5, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to take my belts off now. We should be out of the turbulence until we get about right after Jeeved, we probably are going to get in the bumps. So 360 on the climb. Now we're holding 370. Everything looks good, folks. Doors closed. Want to make sure seatbelt sign, no smoking. I would let the flight attendants know that as well. That expect some bumps when we get to this place, but I'll keep them posted. Shelton, did you get that? Hopefully you did. And I've got to change that, Sean. I'm gonna have to change the time to 5. That's the thing about these streams, man. I got to just get it in when I can. Okay, I'm going to get ready for 18,000 feet. Throw our range back just a little bit. Okay, we're headed down to Miami. I'll take a look at the pref page and see what we got on the prog. I've got an ETA, folks, of 1 hour and 30 minutes from now. There's 18,000. Nav source coming in, dropping in 29092. We're going to go ahead and throw the lights off. Wing inspects coming off. There was 18,000. It's good to go. Awesome stuff. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. We'll help you out, Shelton. We'll get you there. We've got a whole bunch of emojis. Sean hooked it up. We got Butter. We got Cliff. So when we fly the MD-80. Let us know if you didn't find it. All right, folks. I'm eating my lunch again. This is actually dinner. A little snack. Okay, we've got take it. It's about 78 miles to go. Let me show you what we're looking at. Let's import this. Okay, so I'll show you where the nasties are. It's going to be right here. You see that? We're going to be in this turbulent band all the way down. Looks like it's shifting on us. 03, oh, that's 1700. I'm looking at 03 now, buddy. October 10th. Yeah, we're there already. We're in the turbulence. We should be getting to that stuff. All right, folks. I guess one of the comments, and I don't think we have enough. I honestly don't think there's enough content. Somebody wanted to know my NTSB background, right? And they're like, well, can you do a video about it? And I don't think there's enough content because I really don't. I'm going to probably talk about it now, but I studied aviation safety in college. My minor was in human factors. And my last year, I went into the NTSB. And I did a stint with the board. So just get experience. And Cody made it into EY, dunked down from 16,000 with tight, down went to the postage stamp notice, runway 9. I'm awake now. No joke, Cody. That's an airport that you don't want to mess with. Yeah, so anyway, I did that. That was kind of my NTSB background. I was there for a bit. I kind of just, the regional office was in Miami. I think the biggest crash we worked on was a DC-3. It wasn't like you're thinking like airliners and stuff. That's a GO team, and that GO team is really assembled out of DC. So the regional guys, the regional folks, I should say, were based throughout the United States, right? So we had our jurisdiction, we had Florida, we had Puerto Rico, we had, I want to say Alabama. I think it was Alabama that we did. Sean says, Shelton, if you sign up for membership, maybe try to refresh. I'm not sure if you sent a super chat or signed up for membership earlier. I think he sent up for you signed up for membership, no? Let me see. Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm with you. I can't tell. I don't know. That's a good question. Anyway, we it was, so you would be on call for 2 weeks, right? So at those days we didn't have, I think we had, did we have cell phones? Yeah, we did. We had we were like flip phones. They were like really old phones, but we had beepers and stuff. So we would get a call, and I'll never forget it. It was really interesting. I don't know if you've ever watched air disasters. So if you've ever watched air disasters on, I think it's Discovery or Smithsonian or one of those channels. Anyway, Greg Fife, he did a whole bunch of crashes in the 90s. He was the IIC, or investigator in charge, and he did a ton of crashes, airliners. He was on a GO team. And it shows as a super chat, okay? So Shelton, if you just do like I think it's like a $2.99 membership, you'll still get that I think you'll get that deal. So it doesn't have to be an expensive thing, man. I think it's just the $299, and then you're a member. But anyway, he said to me when I first came in, and he said, he was basically my mentor, right? So I got to meet him multiple times.
74 request.
Virgin 74, go ahead.
Due to performance, request maintain level 330.
Virgin 74, maintain level 330.
Maintain level 330, Virgin 74.
Got it. All right. Cool. So anyway, we had, he told me, I said, well, how is it in the NTSB? He goes, you'll see. He goes, I can't explain it, right? He's like, it's different. I said, okay. He goes, you don't really know until you get in there. He's like, I could tell you stuff, but you're not going to understand any of it until you see it for yourself. And sure enough, when we got in there, I definitely saw kind of what he was talking about. And for sure, I was like, yep, I see it.
I'm on 121 Jack Center, climbing through level 380.
Shelton, what's going on, man? You got it done now, buddy. I appreciate you, man. It looks like you're a member now. You should have one stripe on the epaulet, and those epaulets will get more at the time. So the longer you're a member, those epaulets are going to grow on you, which is cool. We're at 32,000. It looks like we maybe want to climb. Good job. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for helping him out. That's great. But anyway, we did that, and I remember you're on call. You're really on call for 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks, you might get no accidents, or you might get like 15. And the NTSB's task is we have to investigate everything, every accident. Now, that doesn't mean we actually dispatch. It means we investigate. So the FAA will go to every crash. We usually don't at the NTSB unless there's a fatality or it's all over the news. That's when we'll go. Okay, so if it's a high profile news thing, we're going to go, or if it's a fatality, we're going to respond. Are the alerts on? Well, the problem is I will try. If I turn the alerts on right now, they are on now. But the problem is when we talk to ATC, you're going to hear echoes. So until we figure out what's going on with these stupid alerts, that's what we're doing. But yeah, that's awesome. Really good community here, folks, in the chat. I mean, you got folks helping each other. That's what I like to see. You hear the echo?
Service terminated, frequency change approved. So.
Sorry for the echo. It's going to happen with the alerts on until we figure it out, which I have to really take the time out and do it. But the alerts are on now. If you want them off, if you don't want to hear the echo, let me know. I'll just turn them off. But anyway, that's kind of how it works in the board. You'll get, like I said, you can get a ton dumped on you in 2 weeks, or you can get none. So it just depends. Right, it's the luck of the draw. But I remember one night we were all getting ready to leave the office. It was like 4:30, 4:45, something like that. And no echo. Serious question. Go for it. I'm watching the news. The news is always up. So the news is on a TV. It's always good because the media is going to jump all over it before we hear it. And I'm getting ready. Got my bag. Like you have to have a go bag in your car. You got to be ready to go at the moment's notice. And I'm looking up at the screen and I see this flaming ball of an airplane in Fort Lauderdale. It's the thing's on fire, right? I mean, there cops everywhere. There's firefighters, mutual aid.
Line of centers offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
What's the range of the 736 and 737? Crap. I want to think it's 3,000. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's 3,000.
November 12, Charlie radar contact lost.
right around there. All right, 35 for 36. Here we come. I'd have to look it up, but I think it's right around there. I think it's at that 3,000 range. You could probably squeak 35 for sure. Now the 600, I don't know. The 600 is going to probably be more. The 7 won't because it's bigger. So the 600 is going to squeak out more than the 700. I can find out. That's just off the top of my head. You could probably Google that. All right, here we go. Altitude capture. We're coming through 0.77. I'm going to start slowing it down, taking it out of auto mode and dropping it down to manual mode. Right now, folks, cross your fingers. The turbulence is quiet up here. Popping it out into manual mode. Good. We're going to hold 0.77 right around there. We are captured. And so far, so good on the bumps. I haven't felt really any bumpers yet. All right, so anyway, that's kind of, the NTSB, I don't know, like his request was, hey, can you make a video about it? I don't know what kind of video, what could I do about that, right? Other than what I'm just telling you. It's pretty crazy, that's for sure. You see some gnarly stuff. All right. What else? Anyway, that night was huge because, we see on this news just flaming, like I said, we've got people running everywhere. They're evacuating blocks. And we're like, what is going on? There's a big plane crash in Fort Lauderdale. And we're like, what is this? And it was a DC-3 that took off out of Fort Lauderdale. So I looked at the IIC and I'm like, we're going. He goes, yes, we are. Pack your crap. We jumped in the GV, which is government vehicle, and we drove up. And the one thing I remember about, and I remember a lot about this, but the one thing I can describe this scene for you is utter chaos. It is absolute chaos. You're talking about news media everywhere. You're talking about people evacuating blocks, city blocks. You're talking about fire departments everywhere. You're talking about police and a command center. So you have to set a command center up and you have to start investigating. You can't go in until the fire gives you A-OK. And they were putting the flames out. Right? They had that whole thing coated with foam.
We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note we only accept credit cards.
Yeah, it's crazy how Boeing can push a 737 to the limit. Amazing how aviation has come a long way in such a short time. And it's very true. If you think about it, from the Wright Flyer to where we are now, it's pretty amazing. It is true. But that's kind of how it was, just utter chaos, right? So you've got, and just think, you have debris everywhere, right? You've got tree limbs down on the ground. You have an airplane that's on fire, and that's your evidence, okay? So it's melting because it's so hot. Because it was full of 100 low lead, right? So you got all this crap going on. It was quite fun, let me tell you. So, but there's a whole bunch of crashes I've had the pleasure of working on and writing, and very interesting. I've learned that the Aztec, the Piper Aztec, is an absolute tank of an airplane. If you ever get into an accident on that, and generally if you land gear up, you're going to be fine. I've seen that airplane cartwheel down the runway, folks. I mean, end over end. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Cartwheel down the runway. The thing is totaled. Pilot gets out. He's like, well, that was great. That wasn't a great landing. So I'm like, holy crap, that airplane is built like a tank. Stuff like that, Also seeing a lot of unfortunate events, where people didn't get home. And I think that's why I'm even through my private pilot days, I didn't know any better, right? It was because I got my pilot's license when I was young. I got my pilot's license when I was 18, so we're talking decades ago. But still, it's amazing how, you know, when you go into the safety side of it, you think things a little differently, where a pilot might not, and somebody that hasn't, you know, seen what I've seen, it's going to do things a little different. It changes you when you see death, right? When you actually go and you see death, it changes you. It changes you on how you fly, on how you handle an aircraft. Everything is different. You do it the right way because you have to fly it to SOPs, right? I didn't know that in my student pilot days because I didn't experience any of that. Anyway, it's very interesting. It's a lot of unfortunate accidents, but you know, the thing you got to remember is when you're looking at something like this is if you got to write a good report, because then the next person that picks up that report. Matter of fact, I just read one yesterday about an MD-80. When somebody picks up that report and reads it, you hope they go, well, that's not going to happen to me because I'm not going to do X, Y, or Z, right? And that's it. Shelton said, did you cover the American Airlines flight 587 that went down? Yes. I can cover it. I haven't talked about that yet, but I actually was interesting on my last year at college, we were in charge of a group, and I remember being there, and one of the, I think it was a group project, right? So it was like, okay, group project, hold on. Let me do this really quick. Let me be a good captain for you. Folks, from the flight deck, we're cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. Looks like it's pretty smooth. Seatbelt signs are going to come off here for you. However, you remain seated. Please keep the seatbelts on just in case we hit any unexpected rough air. Right now, Miami is 84 degrees, few clouds. We should have you on the ground here in about an hour and 10 minutes of flight time. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Jack Center, Cactus 1522, fast and 4300, climb by the Fate 3.
Cactus 1522, Jack Center, radar contact.
Folks, from the flight deck, we're cruising altitude of
for Cactus 1522, can we get 350 the final?
Come off here for you.
Cactus 1522, you can expect that.
Keep the seatbelts on just in case we hit any unexpected rough air. Right now, Miami is 84 degrees, few clouds. We should have you on the ground here in about an hour and 10 minutes of flight time. Thanks for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Sorry, I had to be a good captain for you. Yeah. So about this thing, we had a group project to do, and the teacher said, I think one of our professors said, you could come up with anything you want. Let me look at the data here really quick. Just pull Miami's looking like 1922, 6605 on the fuel. That's good. So he said you could pull any accident you want, and as long as it had an AAR, like it was AAR is basically an accident, a blue cover report we call them. We didn't. This one, I was a group leader on this one, and I was like, you know what? The accident report didn't come out yet, so I picked a team. You know, well, I didn't pick it, but the group. I had a good group, and the professor came up to me and goes, you know, you realize the accident, blue cover is not out yet. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not out yet. We're going to do our best to look at preliminary data and all this stuff and to see. And I sat through the hearings.
Level 350.
350, Cactus 1522.
with this accident, I sat through the hearings, right? So you could attend the hearings, and I did. It was virtually, but I attended them and listened to what, all that you go through the entire thing. You go through history of flight, you go through human factors, you go through mechanical maintenance, and you go through like all of these different departments, if you will, when you write one of these reports. And structures. And the structures was very interesting because nobody knew that below maneuvering speed, you can rip a plane apart. I mean, you let me rephrase that. We knew that because it says it in the POH. Like if you look in any POH on an airplane, a Cessna, a Piper, whatever, it always says, it says something like, warning, do not pull full deflection either direction. So if you go hard left, don't go hard right. All right? But they really didn't elaborate as to why. It was just kind of, don't do full deflection. So this flight was an Airbus A300 taking off out of JFK 2001. And at the time, everybody suspected it was terrorism. Because 9/11 just happened. We're talking about a few months later this happened. I think it happened in January. I don't remember when that happened, but so you've got this big old A300 and another aircraft takes off in front of it. Now, this is the interesting part. First officer's flying. Okay. Controller says American 587 caution wake turbulence. Okay. The airplane starts to get in the wake. All right, because you guys understand wake turbulence, and if you don't, I'll teach it to you. Right over here of this wing right now, going behind this, you know what? Picture's worth 1,000 words. I always say that. I'm just going to draw it for you because it's going to be better than not. So I'm just going to, well, if I can, let me see if I can pull one of these up. We'll click new. Okay, let me pull it up on the screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you have this wing, right? So let's look at this wing on this wing view here. We've got the wing like this. This goes like that. That kind of goes like that. And then we're going to go like this. Okay, and I'm drawing the winglet right there. Okay, so you're looking at the same thing right here. Okay, so you got your aileron back here. You kind of see where I'm going with this, right? You got your flap in this range there, okay? And then you have your leading edge here. And then you have your trailing edge flaps here. So what's coming off of this wing as the airflow comes through, and if you know this, just humor me because there's some people that might not. So I'm going to treat everybody like they're pretty new on this one. So as the air comes in, it goes on both sides of the wing, right? Let's just pretend that. And as it hits coming under it, and it's weird on a winglet because it's a little different. It's a little less severe on a winglet. That's why they have winglets. What it does is it causes a little bit of turbulence here on the backside. Now that's with a winglet. This particular aircraft that took off didn't have it. Okay, so we're just going to say that this aircraft, where is this? Here, had a wing. This is a traditional wing, let's just say. So you got airflow coming underneath, and you got airflow coming over the top. All right, and what comes out high wants to go to low all the time. So you got high pressure on top, low pressure on the bottom, low wants to go to high all the time, and you create this. It's basically a horizontal tornado coming off the back of the wing that you can't see, by the way, and it depends on the wind. Okay, if the wind is blowing this way, it's going to come this way toward you. All right, so winglets make it a little bit better, a little less severe. All right, when you've got a winglet on the aircraft, it makes it a little less severe. Still severe, but it's a little bit on the lesser side. Let's kick this over here. This is our winglet. Oop, that wasn't right. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Probably doing more harm than good on this one. There you go. There's our winglet. You kind of get the
24
picture.
contact lost.
So again, as wind comes over, you get this little one. It's still there. You still got air coming underneath and coming over the top, and you still have it, but it kind of drifts up. And that's why winglets decrease fuel burn. That's why carriers love winglets, because it decreases the amount of drag coming off the back of the airplane. Anyway, bore you with that, but what happened was you have this wake vortice, we call them wake turbulence, wake vortices. You have this vortices coming over and hitting this Airbus. Okay, so this bus is, it's an A330. It's a big airplane, folks. It's not small. We got negative 17 degrees. Sorry, we got negative TAT 17 negative. We're prime for icing. So we're gonna have to turn on some engine anti-ice. Let's just come on the overhead here upstairs. Let's throw continuous on, and we'll throw our cal ice on just for now. Just enough to. It's not yet that cold, so. Anyway, this A330 or A300 hits the wake vortices, and the airplane starts doing this, and the pilot, the first officer, starts dancing on the rudder pedals, and he's doing this on the rudder pedal like a 172, right? Boom, 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 and the airplane now starts to yaw. You get the yaw effect going, and as it does that, there's a huge barn door on the back of that airplane, okay? And it's called a rudder. Every airplane, every transport category airplane is like this, okay? Especially on as the A300 increases speed, there's an artificial feel, and every airplane's like this. So here's the elevator, if you will. No, not the elevator. It's going to be the vertical stabilizer. All right, and here's your rudder. All right, and here's the fuselage of the aircraft. So when you increase speed, and they were pushing 250 knots at the time, the rudder limiter, all right, this artificial rudder limiter that actually limits the throw on the rudder. So if we're looking at the rudder from the top down, okay, this is the front of the rudder, top down. Okay, this is the back of the rudder right here. So the rudder, again, moves this way and this way. Okay, left and right. You guys see that? You get the point? So as the speed increases, so 250 knots, the throw on this rudder, when it's slow, is full throw, when it's a slower speed. When it increases past, I think it was like 230 or something like that, that throw gets smaller and smaller and smaller to 2.5 degrees. That's all you get on this airplane. Okay? And I forgot the speed. Don't quote me on the speed, but I think it's like 230 or something like that. It hits 250 knots. And they were accelerating to that. Okay, I don't think they were there yet, but they were accelerating to it. So you have a first officer that gets in a wake, and they slam on left rudder. So the airplane yaws hard left. They hit another wake on the other side. Boom! And then the wing starts to dip right. So he neutralizes and slams right rudder. Okay? I wonder if I can. Okay, good. He neutralizes. Dang it! I'm hitting the wrong thing. Here we go. He neutralizes and slams right rudder. Well, what does that do to the side load on the aircraft? Think about the yaw effect, okay? So you're getting all this wind force pushing now this rudder, or the vertical stabilizer, if you will. Think of this right here. All this wind just pushing this vertical stabilizer as it's side slipping, right? You get this bending, all right? This whole big rudder is now bending. As you're increasing speed, you're also increasing load. Okay? Not good. This is not a good thing to do in an airplane. In a transport category airplane, you don't ever do this. All right? So you're doing that, and then right here on this aircraft it's held down by 3 lugs. 1, 2, 3. And those 3 lugs, there's delamination, which is a weakening of the rudder. But these 3 lugs, they kind of bolt in. There's a lug like this, and then a bolt that goes like through it. And I'll try to draw it on the side. I'm not a good artist, but you could see right here. Think of this as a lug right there, and the rudder comes down over the top, and then they slide this pin in, this bolt, to bolt it in. Okay, that's called the lug. Well, guess what it's made of, folks? The rudder is made of composites. Okay, this is Airbus. So it was new because this was a new kind of technology for investigators to look at, because we didn't really know what composite fatigue would do. We know what metal can do because we've seen Aloha rip the whole airplane apart. We know what metal fatigue looks like, but we didn't really know what delamination or composite fatigue looked like. So this bolt had some delamination to it, which means kind of peeling of the layers. When that ripped off, which is limit load, when you hit limit load and you hit ultimate load means the airplane is going to break apart. Ultimate load means that it's not designed to get to that level. It's going to break when you hit ultimate load. All right, so one of these bolts, one of these pins, I should say, these lugs, snapped because it couldn't take the load. Now there's 3 or 4 of them. I forgot which one it was. But when that snapped, the rest couldn't handle the load either, and this whole thing came off like a zipper. Done. Because there's too much weight or load on the aircraft. They exceeded the ultimate load of the airplane. And I'll never forget. Now the ultimate load, by the way, is one of those things that have never been test flown. Right? It's never done on an aircraft, and which was really, this is something that was like, to me, one of the board members said, I asked a question and I went, what? No, clearly they don't understand what that means, because they asked, well, why don't you test it to ultimate load? And the investigator has to say, because the airplane's going to come apart. So you've probably seen it at Boeing. You've probably seen them flexing the 777 wing. You guys see that to the break point, pop, and it breaks off. They're testing ultimate load. That's what that is. They're testing the ultimate load of the wing. When is that wing going to break? But it can't. There's no numbers because you never take an airplane to the ultimate load. You take it to the maneuvering, and that's it. That's the end of it. You don't want to go past that. But they kept popping that rudder, and that's what did it. All right, you had American Airlines was at fault as well for training their pilots to get aggressive on rudder. You don't touch the rudder. I cannot stress this enough. The only time you're on that rudder is in a crosswind. That is it. All right. Matter of fact, at Coastal Airways, we teach this very principle when you take flight, when you take our lessons and you take upset training. You don't get on the rudder. Matter of fact, we teach you to go, okay, we're going to roll the aircraft 90 degrees, no rudder, grab the yoke and roll it back. And
Virgin 74 Washington Center's offline radar service terminated frequency change approved today.
You get all of this roll, right? You get a lot of roll authority from the ailerons. So the ailerons alone can take you out of any roll, period. Unless you're under, like I know I'm talking to the 737, unless you're under the CO or the crossover speed. That's a little different, but a crossover speed, that's a whole nother lesson. But I'm just saying, for this particular case, if we were flying at this altitude and the airplane, let's say we find ourselves in a unusual attitude, let's say hard left bank 90 degrees. The only thing I'll do is I'll drop the nose, okay, unload the aircraft, push the nose down, get that nose down, and then we're going to use aileron, roll the airplane out. No rudder, we don't need it. Okay, matter of fact, on the 737, you can sit there, slam on the rudder, and the whole airplane's going to go like this. You don't need rudder. It's a huge barn door in the back. You don't need that much rudder. So it's different than your GA aircraft. You know, every time you're in a GA aircraft, you make a left turn or right turn, you have to coordinate your turn, right? You got to slam on the rudder to get the stupid ball centered. It's not like that in transport category aircraft. It just isn't. So you know, once you take off and you're climbing through the runway, off the runway, you're off the rudders. You just fly it on the ailerons. So unfortunately, American Airlines, they got hit because they were teaching negative transfer, or negative training, we call it. They would say caution wake turbulence, and then the next thing you know, in the simulator, whoop, they're 90 degrees unusual latitude. So what that's doing is programming the human to think wake turbulence, massive, massive upset. That is not the case unless you're in a 152 in front of a 757 or behind a 757. Okay, so that could do it. 757's got the worst wake turbulence ever. It's really bad. Probably it's the 757 wake is almost, I think it's worse than a 76. It's like it's a heavy category in terms of wake turbulence. I've seen a 757 flip a 152 or a 172 on the runway. That's how big the wake is. Anyway, it's very interesting to think about it. But that's what happened. So you had this negative transfer, unfortunately, where the pilots were being trained to get out of a dive, like or unusual attitude like this, 90 degrees, knife edge. Okay, so of course they're slamming on the rudder, and we're going to go inverted. And what that does is it programs the pilots to think, I need to use rudder and hard aileron to get out of this. And by the way, they were at a low altitude, folks. They weren't high, so they didn't have altitude to work with. All right, it was like that. But what happened with 587? They got into PIO. PIO is pilot-induced oscillations. It's where you get an aircraft into a situation and you making it worse by doing the rudders. And just think about porpoising. I was talking to Cody about this. Porpoising, like I was porpoising on one of my landings I did in real life. You know, I was like,
26 Jack Center.
And it got worse,
left.
worse,
Make a
and
180
worse,
taxi
and worse,
to Alpha Bravo 10.
until I recovered by power. Add that power and hold pitch. It was bad. I was all over the dang place, bouncing all over the runway.
Sorry about that.
PIO, pilot-induced oscillation. That's what took that aircraft down. That was
Alpha Bravo
unfortunate.
10, the 36 left, and you're facing northbound, so make a 180.
All right.
Make a 180 taxi.
Excellent from Argentina. Welcome aboard. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Sean says that is why they have a loud stop rudder input alarm. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely why they did that, right? The Boeing doesn't have it. But again, every pilot knows you don't dance on rudder. You don't need to. Okay? Common sense would have been just said, just wait, don't get too excited, take off, and all would have been well. Yeah, but the problem is, you know, Shelton, they did get in the wake. They hit it. And it was upsetting the aircraft. You know, it wasn't like a little turbulence. It was woo, and then they went whoa, you know, and the airplane kind of came back and they hit it again, boom, and then holy cow. But it wasn't this, it was rudder and this, and the airplane's now sliding, and then they hit it again, and then it was opposite rudder in this, and then they started doing this PIO oscillation and a yaw, and that, think of that bend moment as the airplane's yawing this way, all that push force on that tail, ping, just snapped it right off. And it was like a zipper. Once one lug went, all of them went because it couldn't hold the tail, and that's unfortunate. It was just a really, really, really bad deal for everybody involved. So But again, what did we learn from it, right? So what did we learn from that accident? We learned not to use the rudder, period, unless you are in dire straits, okay? You don't need all that force. There is a ton of it. And if you got altitude, my goodness, you could trade it. Altitude is your friend. Higher altitude, the better you're going to be, because you can recover. Let's say we're in a nose high. I love unusuals because I got myself in an unusual a really bad spot last year, if you remember, in the MD-80. Matter of fact, in our CQ at Coastal Airways, we just did this training for the MD-80 where I went into an upset. I got myself into an upset, into a stall situation on the stream. I don't know if some of you witnessed that or not. And everybody died on that airplane because of my stupidity, right? And I did an NTSB case accident report on myself. I was fatigued. That's a contributing factor. Didn't have 10 hours of rest. I had 5, right? And that's why it's so important to get sleep, even if you're in the sim.
Giant 8826 Heavy, RNF Coyote, runway 36 left, clear for takeoff.
RNF Coyote, runway 36 clear for takeoff, 36 left clear.
Shelton says, you said this is a seasonal flight. What months does this flight run? So this isn't a seasonal flight. The one to Nantucket and up to Halifax, Nova Scotia we did, that's seasonal. So it'll stop at the end of October. We'll still run up. We'll still go from Miami to Orlando up to Myrtle Beach, Raleigh-Durham, Islip. Then the next day, instead of going to Portland, then over to Halifax, it goes from Islip, Indianapolis, Islip to Portland, and then you overnight for day 2. And day 3 is just like this, except we don't come from Halifax. So day 3, you start at Portland, you go from Portland, Islip, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, and then Miami. You're done. All right, folks, we're going to get close to the arrival here. We're on Drebel. We just passed it, and it looks like a couple altitudes to hit here. Anyway, I hope that was interesting to you or provide you some value of that that little review, a crash review, if you will. Yeah, good stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're always trying to provide value to you. Look at that, 75 knots, crosswind on the right side. Folks, it looks like Miami right now. Let's go to the Prague page. Let's see what we got here. 45 minutes. We're probably going to be starting our descent here in 20. It looks like our descent 97 miles. I don't think so. Is Miami on?
8826, radar contact. Climb maintain 16,000 altitude.
All right, we have a ton of altitude restraints that we're going to have to hit on this one. Let's go to the legs page and let's see what we've got. We've got Kaiser
5205, Miami's offline, radar service terminate, frequency change approved. Good night.
Hey, thanks for the services. You have a great night. We'll see you, Riptide 5205.
Have a good one.
All right, let's go to
radio. 886, just want to confirm it. I was clear direct to RNAV.
Giant 8826, stay firm. You're RNAVing Coyote. And
okay, so let's go to legs page. We're going to have to figure out our descent ourselves. What we'll do is let's look at what we've got here on the arrival chart. Miami is offline. That is not the right one. Okay. The arrival is coastal 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly hard altitudes. We have to be below coastal at 16,000. So that's kind of where we'll say let's be 16,000 at coastal. And then hard altitude is going to be I'm sure we're going to be landing the 8s. I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and just check that right now before I don't want to guess too much here. Let's see here, 140 at 3, yeah, I'm sure. 10 statute miles. runway 8 right and 9er. That is depart. They're arriving runway 8 right to runway 9. We're gonna probably take 8 right. So we'll land 8 right. We could land 9, but that's gonna be longer. I don't want to do that. So 8 right it is, and we'll just taxi back. Okay, we good with that? So Tupac 5,000 feet. You can see here we're gonna be hitting this little route here. And right here, folks, is where I almost got killed and hit midair by an MD-80, right around this point. That's true, really happened. They were descending on the arrival. I was at 7,000, they were descending below 8, and it was interesting. If you have a tailwind, is that good or a bad thing? Will a tailwind help a flight get to its destination? Absolutely. So we want tailwinds, right? Tailwinds are going to push the aircraft, increase our ground speed, and that's what we want to see. Like right now, our ground speed, we are sitting at 476 with a crosswind at 72 knots. So not great. We're in a crab kind of angle here. You can maybe see that little crab. You could kind of see it, how we're going sideways a little bit. We got 75 knot crosswind hitting us on the side of the aircraft here, and that's going to crab the aircraft. That's called a crab angle. Yeah. It's better than a headwind though, right? So if we had a crosswind or a headwind, I'll take a crosswind. I hate headwinds. Headwinds slow you down. Crosswinds are not great. It's kind of neutral, but if I had a choice between a crosswind and a headwind, I'll take a crosswind. Yeah, I wish we had a good push on a tailwind. It doesn't look like we're going to get it. But all right, let's do this. We're going to have to do coastal at 16. Now, here's the hard part. We got to kind of think about this. This is kind of flying the CRJ. You can't just sit there and go, oh, I'll just let the autopilot do it. That's not good to do. I'm sure if you watch these streams, you'll know that's not a really good thing. We're talking about 20,000 feet difference. Let's multiply that by 3. Let's give it a good 20 miles above that. So let's say 80 miles, okay? So 80 miles from coastal. And we're looking at 8.5. So we got 8.5 plus 6.9. That's to there. And what I'm doing is I'm adding up from coastal going backwards. Okay, so we've got 8.5 distance from here to here. Now this, you don't have to do it this way, but this is one of the ways you could do it. It's a longer way. Plus 9.6. That's 25 miles to Yepa. Plus 10 is going to be, well, that's plus 22. There's 47 miles right there to Espresso. And we got Greed, plus 28. At Greed, 75 miles. That's probably where we're going to want to start our descent, okay? Right around this Greed area, this Gred, we'll want to start our descent, okay? And that's rough. So you can see Danny right here, there's Gred. We're going to start down probably in between here and here, and we'll get it down below 16,000 feet. All right, that's probably what we'll do. And look at our top of descent. It says in 53 nautical miles. So it might be, and that's pretty good because that's kind of where we calculated, right? Top of descent is just after Gred. So let's see what our VNAV can do on this one. That's promising. And that's a good check where you can go, okay, maybe the autopilot does have it right on this one. Let's just take a peek and we can adjust as needed from there. All right, let's give you a brief. We talked about the coastal too. It's beautiful weather down in Miami, by the way. We just kind of looked at it. All right, so we're going to go all the way down. We got Redneck at 280, 15,000 feet here. We're going to be at below 16,000 coastal. And we got Yakko, Ziggy right through here. Bonefish, we're going to go from Bonefish to Echo Ziggy. Then we got Bonefish to Fend right there. Then Gucci, Blimey, Remy, Tupac, Vectors to Corpora. And that is going to be, that Corpora is going to be Miami's 8 right. So we can go over here. Let's go to 8 right here. And you can see there, Corpora. I'll just lock that up. And it's going to be a visual approach. So we're going to go 3,000 Corpora and then drake it right into the visual approach. Once we land, we're going to land the first third of the runway. I want to land about 1,000 foot down. I want to put it right on the marks today, if I can do that. I know I said I can grease it. Maybe if you want to see a greaser, let me know in the chat. Say grease. You know, give me butter. If you want to see a butter landing where I just butter this thing on here, we'll try to get like -2 or something like that. I'll eat up all the runway. We'll see. Just make sure I land before Lima 5. And then we'll do that. Put butter in the chat if you want to see me grease this thing in. We'll try to do it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. Maybe we can, depends if you want me to grease it. We'll grease it and we'll go maybe Mike 9, get off on there. And then taxi. Want to land. Now, I wouldn't do that normally. I wouldn't do that. I would put it right on the marks and don't care. Because I care about stopping. Once we taxi in, we're going to go ahead and probably, again, Mike 9 will probably go on the inners to Mike. Then we'll go to Quebec all the way down to the G concourse right up here. And we'll be calling it quits, putting this thing to bed, and that's it. Any questions? Shelton says butter it. All right, we'll butter it, Shelton. We shall butter it. It's 10:30. Thank you, by the way, for everybody who's watching the stream. Hopefully you're getting some value out of this. That's kind of what I want to do, is provide value to you. If you're going to take the time to watch this, I got to give you something good. All right, we're out of the weather right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the engine anti-ice. That's just burning fuel. We don't need to burn right now, so I'm going to throw that to the off position. And that's it. And right after this, we're actually going to let the autopilot do its thing. Let's see if it works. Marco says Cliff. Now, I don't know if you've seen Cliff from Cheers, but that's our FO, by the way, that flies the MD-80 with us. He's going to be ready to go tomorrow. We're going to be having Cliff tomorrow with us. It's been a long time, so Cliff, here we come. That's awesome. You know, I think what we could do, if we have long like cruises like this, it'd be good to go over some accident reports. I love doing that because you learn a lot. Sheldon said, wouldn't miss these live streams for the world. Well, thank you, Sheldon. I appreciate it. That's cool. It's good. And it looks like we're growing. The channel's growing, so that's good. I've been really working hard the last month or so, 2 months, trying to kind of dial in, all right, are the thumbnails good for you? Do you like the content? That kind of stuff. You know, and you kind of know what I'm like looking at, again, my kids watch these YouTube videos and I'm like, what? You know, I just, you can't, I'm not trying to compare because you don't want to do that, but I'm thinking, all they're doing is playing a video game. Wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. And it just feels like, it doesn't feel like, but it's like, wait a minute. They quit their job. They're full-time. Dude, I would love to do this full-time. Like, if I could do this full-time, right, and fly real schedule, I would fly a real schedule. So I would do 3 days, or if it's a 3-day, I do a 3-day trip, and it would be every, 3 days on, 3 days off, back to it. I would do it all the time if I could. Because I think it'd be fun. And yeah, some days it's like work. Like yesterday, I was shot after that third leg. I was like, oh. So, but we were ready. I was ready to go. I mean, we pushed and everything, and then the internet decided to die on us. Okay, the streamings are amazing. Unfortunately, I can't always watch it live. Yeah, due to the time zone difference, of course. Most of the time, I'm watching them the day after, and that's what's cool about streams, though, right, Marco? You could rewind them, and then you can comment below or whatever when you see them. But yeah, that's the cool thing about streams. You could always watch. And the videos, the tutorials I'm starting to make. The MD-80 just came out. We're going to do one. Like I said, I got another one. I got to film it this week. If I could get a film, I've got a busy, guys, hockey season starting tomorrow. I can't believe it. We are going to be busy with the MD-80 pretty much the entire winter for hockey season. All right, top of descent's upcoming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this to 16,000, and then I'm going to select the VNAV and watch this thing screw up on us. We're going to bring it to, let's see it, because I would start our descent right now too. I said right at about greed or gred, I'd say we start our descent. So we've got VNAV, you can see this alt path. Now we got alternate V path, which means VNAV path. Okay, so when are you going to start a descent? Boom, look at that. See this? Look at look at how aggressive that is. I'm going idle right now just because that's pretty aggressive. We're sitting at 2.2, 16,000. Let's see what we're going to do. Now we're going to take this and we're going to increase our range, and you could kind of see coast is right there. So look at that, folks.
I feel the need.
Nice.
The need for speed. Ow!
Oh, that was awesome. Andy, appreciate that. I don't know, did you guys hear that? I hope you heard that. I hope you heard it. I really do. Thank you, Andy. That was awesome. Coming through with a 20 spot. That's great. Great discussion with the accident investigation. Thanks for going through all that. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the support. That's fantastic. That's why that helps. You know, all that stuff is cool. Oh, crap. My speed's low. Talking about speeds and stuff. Seatbelts coming on. Let the passengers know we're starting our descent into the airport. Matter of fact, I'll give you a PA.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten
Oh, you heard that?
sign.
Sweet.
Please return to
Good.
your seats and fasten your
So
seatbelt.
maybe it works. I don't know. Maybe we got it working. It's been a bummer the last couple of times, though. I think the member alert might not be working, though. Okay. Sean, we got to check it out. I've got Sean's our tech here. Sean does a great job moderating and stuff, and I appreciate you, Sean. He does a lot of work for us as well. Good. I'll keep that going. I'm going to push these throttles up just to get it going. There we go. Okay. I'll be right back with a PA for you. How's that? Maybe. Folks from up front here, we've started our descent into the Miami area. Miami weather looks really good down there right now. Light winds, a few clouds. Should have you on the ground here in about 29 minutes or so. We ask that you prepare the cabin for arrival, put your tray tables up, and the flight attendants will be coming around preparing the cabin. Thanks again for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. We appreciate all of you and your support. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy the landing. Folks from up front here, we've started our descent into the Miami area. Miami weather looks really good down there right now. Light winds, a few clouds. Should have you on the ground here in about 29 minutes or so. We ask that you prepare the cabin for arrival, put your tray tables up, and the flight attendants will be coming around preparing the cabin. Thanks again for watching the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. We appreciate all of you and your support. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy the landing. All right. Look at that. I'm right up to the barber pole. Let's bring that back down a little bit. Does the PA work only if we staring out the starboard side? Yes. The reason why I do that is because you wouldn't hear a PA in the cockpit. So, you know, you want to see the wing view, and maybe you get an engine view, and, you know, you want to hear what the passengers hear, right? You wouldn't hear from the PA from me. I mean, you would, but it's got to be from the starboard or the port side, either one. That's funny. That's funny. Yep. He says, I think okay, we'll check that out, Sean. Awesome, Andy. Hope all's well. Seems delayed like 30 seconds. It is a little bit. I think the member alerts are a little delayed. All right, we're coming in back to coastal 16,000. We are right on target. Let's do our descent checks and let's get ready. Okay, pressurization. So you want to make sure that we are depressurizing. So we're at delta P is at 7 and the cabin altitude rate is at 400. So that is checked. Altimeters. Did I write down our weather in Miami? I don't think I wrote it down. I think I was a little distracted, maybe. Let's go to flights, go to airports, VATSIM. Nope, we're gonna go real. It is uniform. We're arriving at hotel. Wind in Miami right now, folks, 140 at 3 knots. Visibility is pushing 10 statute miles. Scattered clouds at 2,200 feet. Broken at 3,000. Ooh. Okay, we've got temperature 29, dew point 24. 29er, 89er. Runway is runway 8 right for the arrival. Okay, we've got it, and we're looking at 29er, 89er. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in just in a minute. We're getting into some clouds. I got 122.8 set at the radio, and we definitely have our arrival set for 8 right. All right. Ja, woohoo! Andy says we have been all night, actually. I must say that this livery is fire on the MD-80. Yes, it's cool. It's a cool livery on the MD-80. We got 2 variations though. We have the one we're gonna fly tomorrow, which doesn't have the Snoopy nose, and the other 2 do have the Snoop, like kind of the old school look. I wanted to go with a newer school on this kind of iteration. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and increase our range, and it's looking really good. I'm impressed so far from what I see from the autopilot today. It's doing its thing. The Smart Pirate, hey Jason, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome on board. You're just perfect timing. We're gonna get ready for the landing here. We're gonna try to butter this thing. How's that? We're gonna forget lengths and distances. I'm gonna go against everything I know, and we're gonna try to butter this plane. I can afford it. I really can. I'm going to donate to the company today. It's going to cost me like $5,000, but that's all right. We'll do it. How are you? Hopefully you're well, friend. I got to get a drink. I am a little thirsty. Did you guys like the accident that we talked about? Because if so, what I'll do is keep that theme up. Here comes 18,000 feet. We're going to go 29er, 89er on longer flights. We could talk about that. 29er, 89er, here we go. Set. And we got a couple long ones coming. Holy smokes, in the MD-80. We're going all the way out west, if you can believe that. Lights coming on. I want to go throw the taxi light on as well. Everything else is good to go. We're going to get through the cloud deck here, and it looks like to be 15 Celsius, so we're good. The issue with these short flights, we miss Jason history lessons. Oh, they're coming. I've got a couple of videos up my sleeve. Oh, I love it. Is Coastal your virtual airline? I think pretty cool livery. Is Coastal your virtual? Are you saying is NorCal is coastal, my virtual airline? Is that what you're saying? If you go to flycoastalairways.com, you can read about it and see what kind of what we're about here at Coastal. Very much done right. Okay, we're diving. Okay, here we go. Why are we diving? Why are we diving? Look at that. Look at that. What are you doing? See, this is what I mean. Like, it's hunting right now, so we're going to try to go to 11,000. It was nice and stable until that. And now my confidence in this stupid thing is a little bit mad. Bonefish at 11,000. So, you know, we're diving at 3.9. Don't like that. Oh, I'm going to watch it. I don't like that. That's not good to do. Passengers don't like that. Okay, Cam says, so Jason, apologies if you have already covered this. I've got the airplane, bro. What are you doing? See, I'm done. That, to me, is the end of this VNAV. We are not going to descend a VNAV. We're going to descend at vertical speed. It's better. It's better to control. Yes, you have to work a little bit harder. But let me tell you something. The passengers are going to get a better ride, and I'm trying to give passengers a good ride here. Cam says, so Jace, apologies if you have already covered this ad nauseum. You flew 737s at some point in your career. I was a 737 instructor for Angle of Attack Aviation. So what we did was, and I worked with some major airlines in terms of media, right? So if you look at, have you heard of Flight Chops? Have you seen Flight Chops? He's on YouTube. He's awesome. Steve Thorne is his name. So if you look up Flight Chop 737, I was the instructor there for him when we filmed that. He flew a 737-200, a Delta Sim. So it was a lot of fun doing that with him. And then I worked for I just did that for Angle of Attack for years. But I've been on that, you know, through school and ground school, and with Riddle and stuff. We had a 73 there too at Flight Safety. So yeah, good stuff. My favorite 737 though is the 200. I just love that airplane. It's a good airplane. Marco says coastal deliveries are the best. We've got a couple good ones coming up. Uh-oh. Do not. Oh. That's every simmer's nightmare, right? When it just stutters and stops and you're like, what are you doing? All right, we got Fiend, or Fendi, I should say, at 11,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and fly there. 11,000 feet, we'll hold, and then we'll start descending down to Gucci, and then over to Tupac at 5,000. Yep, everybody, members, shoots on in the chat. These are the shoots. We're putting those on. So we're going to stay at 11,000 feet here. Just going to slow down and get ready for the descent. Yeah, the 737 is my airplane. I absolutely love the aircraft. I love everything about it. I love the old school of it, the feel of the airplane. It was one of Boeing's best built aircraft in my eyes. Right now I'm old school, okay? So, you know, I have about 6, 7 hours in a Delta A320 sim. You know, they're level Ds with their check airmen. I flew with, you know, he taught me a whole bunch of stuff about the A320, which was, you know, it was like, okay, wowee, gee whiz. You know, there's all these bells and whistles going on in the aircraft, but I felt disconnected from it, right? So I'm like, I don't feel like I'm actually in command of the airplane. And you guys know, you probably know me by now, where it's like, I don't like that. I want to know what the systems are doing, when they're doing it, and why they're doing it. And that's the only way I'm going to get that is by being connected, right? Knowing what systems are on and what systems are off. Airbus is kind of, at least with my experience, I felt disconnected from the airplane in terms of, all right, why is it doing this? I mean, you could say it's the same thing for this. You know, you throw the start button on. Come for the history, stay for the duck unders. Oh, you gotta love it. You don't like my duck unders, do you? That's funny. That's pretty funny right there. You gotta love the duck unders, though. That's so funny. All right, we gotta descend. There we go. Vertical speed. Here we go. On, and we'll start our descent now. I said descend now. All right, that means the stupid thing's on. No, I wanted vertical speed. All right, why is that happening? Okay, so I go vertical speed connect. I know why. Because I'm an idiot, that's why. What I didn't do is set the altitude. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. We got to get down to an altitude of 5,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and set the altitude bug to 5,000 feet right there. Flip it back, and we are going to descend. Now, if you like the history, I got something cool coming. I really do. And I think Sean's probably the only one that have seen it. It's interesting. It's like a, it's kind of like a, it's not, I wouldn't say it's cheesy, but it's built for, it's made for like, it's made for you. You know, you can consume the content because it's aviation related, but it's also history. And I think it's a pretty cool idea, and we'll see how it works next month. I should have that coming out to you by next month. We'll see. It's a draft right now, and I don't know if we're going to do it, but it'll be pretty cool to do. All right, let me take a peek, see what's going on here. Let's just do this, bump this up. Okay, see that Tupac 5000 right there? I'm going to want to increase the descent rate.
We have begun our final descent into Miami. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time.
Okay, we got Rami, Madonna 6000, the Tupac at 5.
Please also store any carry-on items either in the
coming down on the speed. We got to start slowing the aircraft down. We're going to slow the airplane down about 210 knots. We'll go ahead and do this with our speed. We're going to set all 136 on the ref. And I've already ran the checklist, didn't I? Okay, pressurization, altimeters, landing, and cast. We did. Thrust reversers coming on. There we go. Can you see an airport down there? Yep, there's Miami right there. Just a few broken clouds. Oh, let's go ahead and get a replay of this. Let's see if we can replay it. I'll call them up. Miami traffic, Riptide 5205 on a downwind, runway 8 right, Miami. This definitely is a middleman in the Airbus between the plane and the pilot. I agree. Just flown for the first time on a Max. It is. The Max is way quieter. Cal says this offline. No, this is online. We're on VATSIM right now, buddy. Matter of fact, all the flights we do are pretty much on VATSIM. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to hit Tupac here, and then I'm just going to, I might have to hook up just because of the clouds. If I can pop through this cloud deck, we might get a little lucky. So we'll see. But if any event, we're just going to, you know, go to the radio page here, take a look at this, and we've got on auto. Okay. Next page coming in, throttle's coming up. Looking good. Right at 5,000 here. Yeah, we're going to get right through this cloud deck. Should be fine. All right, at Corpora. I don't want to take it. I guess we'll take it at Corpora. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about an 8-mile final. So what I'm going to do, you see how the airplane's got us banking over there, doing something stupid? Well, we don't want to do that. So I'm going to fly straight out, and then we'll do our turn right there. Heading select. We're going to go ahead and change the needles from white to green. There we go. Inbound course 0902. Got that. We should have 110.3 entered into the radio. We do. What I'm going to do is descend down to 3,000 now. See how the speed's coming out because we're leveling off. So I'm going to add some throttle there. Go to vertical speed. Here we go down to 3,000. If I can get down to 3,000 quicker, I'm going to go ahead and flip it in earlier here. We just got to, we probably could just do a slam dunk if you want to. If you guys want to do a slam dunk, we can. It's not as good as the 7.3 though when you're doing a slam dunk. Just FYI, it's not that great. It's really a pain in the neck to slow down. But I am going to cut it here shortly. I'm just going to start recording it so we can do a little... Okay, flaps 8, and I'm going to take over, okay? Slam dunk, here we go. Lights are on, hydraulics. I've got the aircraft, here we go. Flight director's off. I don't want them on. It's too distracting. Let's kind of look out the window here, see what we got. Altitude 0, please. Too much of a bank. I'll take some that bank out. There we go. I've got the airport in sight. It's right there. Why don't we go 1-2? Do you guys want to land 1-2? Miami traffic, Riptide 5203 on final, runway 8 right. Base leg 8 right. 1-2.
Miami traffic, Alphonse R356 heavy, taxi by Mike 1, holding point 08 right, Miami traffic.
Miami traffic, Riptide 5203. We'll take runway 12. You can take 8 right, bud. Okay, flaps coming in. 20. Flap 20 on the speed, 138. 160 coming down. There we go. Yeah, we're going runway 12. I'll just sidestep it. I got a visual. Here comes a gear. Runway's in sight. Landing lights are on. Here we go. $160 coming down to 138. About 140. It's too low. Miami traffic, Riptide 5203 on final, runway 12, Miami. Lap 45, landing checks. Before landing, thrust reversers are armed. Landing gear down 3 green, and your flaps 45, set. Correcting on speed. All these golf courses. I used to live down here somewhere. Doral. It was. I think it's. It used to be called Doral, not anymore. All right, grease job. This runway is not as long as the other one, but we're in a CRJ. 1,000. Sink rate 900 feet. Speed slow. We're gonna push that speed up. Get that recovery going here. There we go. Getting below ref, too much below ref. That's good right there. Check. For recording, good, because we want to see this replay. Alright, I'll correct it.
300. 200.
Wind is right up and down the runway.
Sync rate.
Correcting.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
All right, butter in the chat. That was butter. Butter in the biscuit. What was that? Got reversers out, by the way. Sweet. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, coming out of reversers. My plane on the brakes. Butter, butter, butter in the biscuit. Now that was against everything that I like train on.
Welcome to Miami. The local time is 3:14 p.m. and it's currently about 84 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution.
Well, folks, that should get a like.
As items may have shifted during the flight.
Jeez.
Thank you for flying with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
174? Wasn't too bad. That's not a, I thought it was like going to be less than that. But it's still, I mean, dang it. That's really not butter. But it felt like butter. All right, wing and specs. Throw that off. Strobes are off there. Nose is on. Taxi cogs should be on. Let's go ahead and start this. Power fuel coming up. Start coming in. Probes are off. Welcome to Miami, by the way. Off, off. We did record that, so we'll go ahead and get a recording. Looks, oh, this is our stop right here. This is the cool thing about this CRJ spot that we're taking. We're on this side of G, usually on the other side of G. But today, we have to go G40 something. G53. Good stuff. Not bad. Once we park it, we'll shut it down. We'll go ahead and redo a reset, and then we'll do a replay. How's that? You want to stick around for that? Okay, that's off. That's good. It was 74. I thought so. I'm like, 174? It felt like I buttered that thing. I worked hard to do that. I kept that power in as long as I possibly could. My mistake. Yeah. That's all good, man. All right, I'm going to take a little swing here because we're going to go swinging around. You guys want to see the spool down? Lights coming off. This is where coastal is. We're on this whole G side. So we're just going to kind of bring it in like that. Swing the nose over. And now we've come full circle here. Okay, brakes coming on. Let's go ahead and watch the spool down. We made it, folks. We made it to Miami. That was fun. Good time. Boy, what a fun airplane to fly. I love it. It's very hands-on. Maybe that's why I like the old classics.
Miami traffic, Alphonse 386 Heavy is lining up runway 0 right. Miami traffic.
CRJs can be operated in jetways. Yes, they can. They sure can. Once we get this engine to spool down, we'll go ahead and take a look. I just want to give you the spool down because it's pretty. It's a pretty view. I'm going to actually make an MD-80 view like this as well, so you can see the engine. That's cool. All right, so let's go spool down complete. Let's go back in here and deplane the passengers. Aircraft coming in. We're going to go ahead and open the doors. Oops, stairs are up. Close that. Open, open. Beacons off. Hydro is coming off. And we're hooked up. That's available. Bam, that thing's off. Off, off. Those are off. And that, my friends, is all she wrote. Let me just go ahead and get this. Let's get this airplane. Get this, I guess, this PIREP done, and then we're going to go ahead and do the replay. Request deboarding. What? All right. You want to restart? Yeah, sure, I'll restart. All right, there we are. Good stuff right in here. So you could think our folks would get out of the aircraft, they'd go into this door here, and then we're on the other side of the gate. I mean, Coastal Airways is this whole entire G at this side right here, all the way over. We basically command all these gates, and not all the time, but we're there, you know, the mornings, afternoons. Pretty cool, folks. That's the end of that. Let's go ahead and disconnect from that, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then one last thing I'm going to do is I have to put in our ACARS report. File a flight plan. There it goes. Sweet. We're going to go ahead and click cancel. Close that out. Well, Cody says long 2 days. Nice work, bud. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and check out the... yeah, that's what's so cool about the CRJ2. It can use a gate or it can just not, right? You can use the boarding stairs here. In this particular case, the Coastal Connection parks on this side of the terminal to free up our other gates. Because I do think there's a conflict with one of our other aircraft that are here. But if they were connecting, all they have to do is walk through the door and they're actually in. So, all right, let's make sure we're off of... Yes, we are. And I just had to make sure that we close this. Let's go to end flight here. Extreme flying conditions. What are you talking about? And the best part is, it is not a soft landing because a soft landing triggers at 50. So, boy, we just made that. So my paycheck is good to go. All right, let's go ahead and close this and let's reload this aircraft to the runway. So what we'll do is main menu. We're going to go right to the runway. We'll do I am not on VATSIM, just to verify. Nope. Let's go ahead and take this off. Sean, yeah. Nice work. Sean with the coastal logos going. Well, folks, guess what? We're done with the CRJ. Now, what happens to me for tomorrow is I have to take the entire panel, my Bravo, apart, at least, because it's right now set up for a CRJ. So I'll be taking that apart. We'll be getting ready for the MD-80, and that's going to be fun. And if you're a member, and that costs the less, I think the cost of the membership for YouTube is less than the price of coffee, a cup of coffee. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And you could get all of these private streams we're doing. And we're doing at least 2 private streams just this week, to give you an idea. We're doing one tomorrow, one Saturday, and then obviously Friday will be live for everyone. So let's go to Miami and let's see this landing. Flip it over to Miami. Here we go. Whoop. We're going to go to runway 12. What's so cool about this? We'll go to departure 11:38. Now let's put in a nice, let's do a nice time here, about 5:50. Cal says nice. I'll be heading now as I'm scheduled to fly Salt Lake, Denver right about now on the 737. Holy smokes. All right, you have a good night, my friend. Good finding. Oh, good finding about you. Yeah, no problem. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. You don't want to miss. We do this stuff a lot. All right, let's go and get this thing done. And the fun part is with the CRJ, you just got to go like this and it'll start the engines for you. So we'll go aircraft. We're going to say ready for taxi. And it's going to start up the engines, the whole 9 yards. Salt Lake City is a fun airport, by the way. I think there are 6 non-Friday flights this month for the Rangers. Non-Friday, but aren't we streaming? No. Well, but we're streaming. Aren't we streaming a lot? I thought there was only one non-Friday on the 26th. Or something like that. Wasn't that, Sean? I think that was the only non-Friday airport that we had, or was I believe it was that. I could be mistaken, though. All right, she's lit. Got 2 good engines, 2 good starts. All right, let's do this thing. All right, let's get this thing on final. All right, here we go. Let's see where we touch down. I mean, it's not going to be great because I greased it. That's pretty. Let's get some good shots here. I meant there are probably going to be about 6 member streams this month. Oh, I see. Yeah. Exactly. There's going to be a lot. Especially when we go out west to Canada and stuff. There's a crap ton. All right, here we go. Pretty cool shot. All right, where do we touch down? Now I can't judge it because I greased it, right? So this is butter in the biscuit right here. Little duck under, goose in the throttle, goose in the throttle. Oh, look at this! Look at this! All right, kind of over the numbers. We're right on target. Right now, I usually would chop the power, but I didn't. I kept the power in. All right, let's do a cool shot. How's that? Let's do something like this. You guys like that? I don't want to be sitting here too long because I could do this all day. But what I'm going to do is come out of this. I'm going to go to drone. Let's go to drone. You guys like that right there? That's pretty cool. And let's do a couple of depth of field shots. That'd be pretty. Come on. That's manual. Auto, disabled, auto, manual. There we go. Right about there. Okay, let's take that. Okay, here we go. Look, I'm just holding it off. Look at this. Oh, you guys, that was like nothing. Holy smokes. Let's do that again. I got to see that. And I don't even think we saw any smoke coming off those tires, did we? Let's try it again. Let's do it in real time here. All right, let's let it roll. Just holding it off, putting a little power in there. Oh, oh man. Jeez. Oh, I just rolled that on. No smoke. I didn't even see any smoke. Pull the reverser so you can see him. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. That was cool. Well, we're talking just roll on here. Let's see what that looked like from the passenger point of view here. Let's go on this side. I'll back it up just a little bit. There we go, right there.
$50, $40, $30, $20.
Oh, now you're just showing off. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. No, Smart Pirate. We have both. Patreon as well is good. We everything that we do on Patreon we do here. Like the flows and stuff. We have it on our Discord channel. So if you're a patron, you should be able to get that, no problem. Luckily, the flight out to Seattle should be a Friday stream. Oh boy, we're gonna have to start early, by the way. Well, that was a really cool. That was a cool landing. Anyway, good stuff. We are done. That's the end of that. That was great. Well, lots of fun there. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, the Smart Pirate. If you're a patron, if you look on our patron page, you'll actually see tomorrow's stream ready to go. It should be on the. I think I scheduled it or I posted it. I can't remember. I'm trying to put these in the calendar to schedule. You'll see that I just might have to change the time to 5 p.m. my time. So 5 p.m. Mountain is going to be the stream tomorrow, and we're going to be in the MD-80. It's a quick flight, I think. We're going from Westchester to Buffalo. So what are we looking at, Sean? 40 minutes? Maybe 45 minutes? Maybe an hour? It's going to be a quick one tomorrow. And then we've got off Thursday. We fly Friday. We go down. That's going to be a public stream on Friday. That'll be down from Buffalo to Columbus. And then we go Columbus home. and that'll be a private stream Saturday morning early. I think I got it set for like 6 a.m. or something like that on Saturday. So that's just because my mom's, I got family coming in town, and I've got to get, I've got to kind of schedule work around a little bit. But anyway, thank you folks for sticking around with us. Thanks for subscribing and liking the channel. Hopefully you got some value out of this flight, and hopefully you get value out of the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like us, and until next time, keep the blue side up and the brown side down. Members, patrons, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Alright, I make me tell you listen. Move. We dance with the rhythm and the groove.